Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the WrestleSense podcast. It's your boy Blaze McCoy back again, and damn, we got a lot of stuff to cover. But first, as always, we're going to welcome in some very important and always amazing people out there in the live chat. Some of the members, some of the fans, PlayStation Network followers, YouTubers, gamers, streamers, even you lurkers. And if you're just joining, you're watching us, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe below. It's completely free, and you can also become a member for $1, $2, or $3 a month. Let's see. Oh, Tree Fitty, someone there is Monstar in the building. Good to see you. Wally saying what's up to Doc. Yeah, the boys are in the building, y'all. The boys are in the building. Crushing Kelly's in the house. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Lady Devil. That's right. Drop all those WrestleSense emojis. The WS is in the house. Wu-Tang, not really, but okay, you know what I'm saying. Okay, so get right to it. Get right to it. MSW, one of the members in the live chat. Good to see you, my friend. Cody Hagan, great to see you as well. Hey, and if you guys missed it, check out the Legion of Dork podcast that me and Super Nacho have done. It is amazing. It was fun. It was a blast. We talked about Spider-Man, which now the movie's out, and we won't be touching base on that, but we'll be talking about a lot more fun stuff here tonight. We talked about He-Man, Transformers, comic books, wrestling, toys, all that good stuff. So if you like retro toys, games, all that good things out there, join the Legion of Dork, all right? Come on, man. So tonight, we're going to get right down to business. We have a couple slideshows. We're going to talk about a couple of super cards that just went down to pay-per-views and some controversial topics that are going on right now. Speaking of controversy, let's bring on the man who just got his arm sawed off. Well,
yeah, buddy. What's up, brother?
I'm hanging in there. Good to see you, man. Yeah, no spoilers. There's your boy Riley Wolf in the building.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Riley. So surgery not too long ago, but how's recovery going?
Surgery is good. Shoulder feels good. My shoulder was what they would like to call fucked. My labrum was torn a full 360 degrees. So I have 6 incisions, and they put in 8 anchors.
Ooh, anchors. That's
yeah. So I got 8 anchors holding my shoulder together, but I'm feeling pretty good, all things considered.
So we wish you the best. You're getting a lot of love in the chat here. Wally, PFW,
what's
everybody.
Up, guys?
Great to see everybody. Let's bring on another guy here. Let's bring on good old Doc. What's up? The champ of our big picker here.
What's going on, Doc? Guys? Oh, doing good. I love your shirt, by the way. Just like Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. So is Trophy Boy Klein.
Good to see you, man. Glad
to show some love to the one half of the 2PW tag team champions.
We traded Easy E for this guy. All right. Welcome, Ray. What's up, big guy?
What's up, everybody? And CJ, I just want to clarify your terminology.
Yeah.
Sailors are not called anchors. So the things that stuck into your incisions, those are sailors, not anchors.
Oh, damn.
No, they're anchors.
Good to see you, Ray. How's everything? I know you had a little mishap last week. We missed you on the show. How's everything working out now?
Yeah, I had to work, unfortunately. Still got to pay a few bills here and there. But
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, everything's going well. What a week of wrestling, boys.
Yeah, we're going to cover it. I got some slideshows so we can talk about it.
Shit.
And thank God Easy E is last because he'll get covered up by all the comments and stuff. Right, E? Good to see you.
Yo, what up, guys? Hey, listen to this. If you stay on long enough, I'm going to spoil the whole damn movie of Spider-Man.
Don't
do it, man.
And I'll tell you this. You stay on to the end, you're going to get spoilers because I'm in that mood. And I hate Doc. I hate Ray. And goddamn, I'm the one who messed up CJ's shoulder.
Okay. Well, Easy's coming back from the Spider-Man movie. He gave us the only thing I need to hear, which he loved it, which his opinion doesn't normally mean shit, but take it for what it's worth here tonight. So we're going to go take it back a little bit here tonight. We got some fun stuff lined up. I talked about the my Legion of Dork podcast, so we're going to take it back and we're going to reminisce. We're going to be right back for after these commercials.
Big match at my house. I'll bring my guys. You have yours. I've got Junkyard Dog.
It's World Wrestling Federation Superstars.
I've got Brutus Beefcake. Here's Tori the Animal Steel. I've got Great Hammer Valentine. Ricky the Dragon Steel.
Yeah. They're so real.
And Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Can you tell the difference? Wrestling Superstars. They're for real. Each sold separately from LJN.
Yeah.
So in honor of last night's epic match that we will talk about later in length, and they had a lot of commercial break, so we're kind of going to follow suit just a little bit on
Hey,
that.
Blaze, I just got to point out that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat one with the red pants and the black shorts, how kind of that combination, that was the chase Ricky Dragon Steamboat. The actual Ricky Dragon Steamboat that was released was full black.
So they did have kind of chase type figures back in the day.
Kind of, yeah. They had like the different variants, different paints, but like
You
that
gotta
Ricky the
love
Dragon
You
Steamboat
gotta love
was.
that Vinnie Mac did the voiceover for the
Yes,
ad,
he
too.
did.
Like,
He didn't want to pay
how
anybody at
involved
that
he
time.
had I'll do the commercial. Ah.
Oh, we'll be talking about that,
You
Brandon.
son of a
Stay
bitch.
tuned. That
I'll
was
do
good.
it.
Good to see you, Sean Stryker, Crushing
It's
Kelly.
good shit.
Hey, you know who I didn't see in there? I didn't see Rhino, and I didn't see Vulture either. I mean, Follow the Buzzards.
Dude, that's from like 1985.
Oh.
The fuck was in your popcorn?
You went to the theater in the bad part of town, didn't you? You got smacked, didn't you?
I may or may not have seen a Rhino and a Vulture. I mean, Buzzard.
Okay.
If you keep telling Spider-Man spoilers, I will find you.
He's not
Right.
And I
telling
have a particular
spoilers.
set of
real
skills.
funny, real
I
funny.
will hurt you.
Well, we can't do an old school WWF one without a WCW one, so let's do one of those two.
Nothing's bigger than the WCW, because we've got more power with WCW Power Slam Wrestlers. Power Slam Wrestlers are stronger and tougher, and nothing gets in their way. With spinning kicks, Goldberg's spear, Sting's bat attack, and Nash's powerbomb, these giants of wrestling will knock the competition down to size. Are you ready to come where the big boys play? Then you're ready for WCW Power Slam Wrestlers. Just try to top us. WCW Power Slam Wrestlers. Figures and rings sold separately.
Hey, are you
Oh
ready to
my
come where the big
God.
boys play?
Those
WCW
were
Power
great.
Slam Wrestlers. If your mom doesn't buy them, Sid will stab her.
Those
That
were
was
great
fucking
figures.
Awful.
Dude,
What happened? What I will say is this: the Vampiro in that series, they ended up having to change the shirt over licensing issues because when they released the first Vampiro, they actually put the Misfits Fiend skull, and I've been looking
Oh, no
for that
shit.
fucker everywhere. Yeah, and what they did was they had to change it to the Vampiro Juggalo shirt because of when the Misfits and Vampiro had a falling out. They were like, "We don't want that. We don't want our shirt on that
We
fucker."
lose DZ already.
hey, the show just got 20% better. What I will
Burn.
say though is the WCW's first answer to LJN. Remember those hard ass little statue figures?
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
they didn't
Mary
move,
Wyndham.
There was no rubber to them. It was just like this is what you can impale your brother or sister across the room with and knock them
Yes.
the fuck out.
1 point of
Now wait, was it the
articulation.
little ones, Ray, or was it the like semi bigger ones?
The semi bigger ones that were
Okay.
literally- there was like Doom, Flying
Yep.
Brian, Z-Man, Sting, Flair,
The
Arn.
scissors.
Yeah, so you're talking about these
That's good.
ones because there was these ones and then there was these ones. So you
Yeah,
want
they
you
were
wanted
harder
to just
than shit. There was
Yes,
no
they were.
articulation whatsoever. They were just little statues
Hey
of
Ray,
hard fucking plastic.
do you know how bad it was? Look, you ready for this? Flying Brian's pose, Sting's pose, Tom Zink and Tom Zink's pose. Hold on, it gets better.
That was really good.
Rick Steiner's pose.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Sid Vicious's
Oh my
pose.
God.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you got the big Josh that was really hard to find, same pose.
Flying Brian had these little fingers that were really sharp, and they would stick in drywall. Don't ask me how I got my ass whooped learning that.
Yeah, those figures you could kill somebody with.
So we have some fun. Don't
Easy.
don't
We're
be-
talking about the WCW ones, the little hard ones.
Yeah, so
Listen,
don't get mad
I
at me if
figured that out right away when you guys were talking.
Okay.
Right away, I figured
Just
out.
catching you up.
All right, so we got 3 segments. We're going to talk about
Sean Stryker, great quote.
some real we're going to talk about all the pay-per-views last in the Six Senses and some controversial stuff going on in wrestling now. But first, this is something that I've always wanted to talk about here on the show. But let's get to the first segment and have some fun. Let's make some sense of this. You guys ain't seen the best of those old school commercials yet, man. I got a couple really wild old school commercials. So
sorry, I was having fun with music I used to play.
Yeah. I always start playing the drums. Just that's about as much as I can, or else I'll have the same surgery CJ had if I keep fucking with it. So, on one of the many wrestling streams that I watch, we're watching a watch along, and the topic of wrestling stables came up, and the question was, we were trying to figure out who the oldest stable was in pro wrestling. So we couldn't figure it out. I started Googling. I found a really good website, went all the way back to the 30s and 60s. So we're gonna go over some iconic.
Eddie Ladd in the stable.
You get muted.
Yeah, you're cutting out, E.
Yeah,
you
we
must
have
have
get the better part
bad
of the
service.
area here, buddy.
I heard Ernie Ladd, and that was about it.
See,
It looks
There
like he
you
was
are,
farting.
Now you're
Alright.
back, E. Say that again.
I said, wasn't Ernie
Yeah.
Ladd in the 60s in a stable?
Well, when I looked up this thing, there was in sections, 30s to 60s, the 70s, and then the modern era and stuff, and they were all listed. A lot of them were just considered tag teams, even though there were 2 or 3. But there was a lot labeled as stables. Now, if anyone wants to check out the list, it's in the comments below. But for time restraints, we could go through it, but it's going to take forever. I did pick out 25 legendary stables that we can talk about, and also have a little pick which ones should leave, maybe which ones you like as we look at these. So we're going to go through. Now, we found out before we get into it, because I don't have this one, the oldest stable. Now, there was Jimmy Hart's first family in 1977, which the first version of the first family is the modern era's oldest stable. The original oldest stable is the Vachons. So
Wow.
Okay.
pre-60s, it's Butcher, Paul,
Mad
Dog, Maurice, Stan, and Vivian were the first ever stable. That's pre-60s, and I had
That's
no
pretty
clue.
awesome.
And of course,
Yeah,
Luna
that's
Vachon
wild.
came from in the family bloodline and everything as well. So let's bring up. We're going to talk about now. Keep in mind, folks, this is not a top 25. These aren't considered the best. These are the most iconic and legendary. And it's up for debate. It's up for talk. I'm gonna go through them, and then we'll talk about. I want you four to pick 3 that your favorite, and 1 that should leave this list. So here we go. So here's some legendary stables. They're in alphabetical order, so we don't get confused. So first, we got the Bloodline, which is one of the newer ones. You have. Obviously, what's ruling WWE right now. And just to go a step further with the Bloodline, people that are actually in the Bloodline, not in the stable. And of course, Nia Jax not even with the damn company.
Bye, Felicia.
So, and you guys can feel free to comment along the way, because we got 25 to cover, and then we'll go through more. So the Brood.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah.
And of course, that's where we got Edge and Christian. So that's iconic, pretty legendary there. And in the chat too, as well, let us know what you guys think about these. The Bullet Club, which we've seen different versions of the Bullet Club, obviously, over the years, mainly in New Japan and
NWO 2.0.
Yeah. So the Bullet Club, vast. Okay, let's keep on going.
The Dangerous Alliance.
of course, in WCW and in ECW.
Yes.
So there was 2 versions of the
Dangerous
Dangerous
Alliance.
Alliance.
Larry
was so great.
Zbyszko looks like a pissed off milkman that
Yeah.
came to collect.
And you got Glock Anderson back here. And Austin looks pretty weird to people that don't remember the old
Stunning
school
Steve.
Austin. Stunning.
Listen, y'all.
Bobby Eaton, God rest his soul, looks like he's
Taking a
has
shit.
a fart.
Taking a
Yeah, looks like he has a
shit,
fart that
yeah.
can't come out.
Paulie, where's my TV championship?
So the Dangerous Alliance on the list of legendary ones here. Kelly loves the Brood. There is the Dark Order, another current one in AEW. And happy birthday, Brody Lee. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Huber.
Yep, definitely. And that they still, the history of the Dark Order is yet to be written, really, in my opinion. It's got a long way to go. Degeneration X,
Yeah.
of course. They were in the Attitude Era and all that good stuff. And I wasn't a big fan of them. I was more NWO, but definitely iconic. The Elite, not all of them, but just a couple of them. That's when they hold all the gold, so pretty elite there. The Elite. AEW and Super Click as well now with Adam Cole in there. Evolution, of course. A collection, and that's when Randy
Four
Orton
Horsemen
and Batista
2.0.
were. Yeah.
Pretty
Just
much,
saying.
yeah.
Yep.
Still one of the top 5 factions, though.
Yeah,
Bringing in
Yeah, I'm
Batista
not going
and
to take that
Orton.
away from him. I'm just, pointing that out.
The fabulous
Street.
Freebirds, USA. So you got
You need
they were in world
you need
class.
like a little subreddit though, like a little picture-in-picture with Jimmy Jam and Bad Street.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did have pictures of them too, but I like the look of these. That gear is what I think of when I think of fabulous.
Look at
But
Hey,
fucking
some
Michael
u-
Hayes.
Definitely
Jimmy
useless-
Jam Gordy looks like the guy that just came over and fucked your sister and drank your juice. Standing in your
Oh my
kitchen, like,
God. He's
What's
like,
up?
oh, wait, keep that picture for a second. First and foremost, a little information about the Freebirds. They actually were in a movie called Highlander. They were in the beginning. He's sitting in the crowd watching a wrestling match, and it's the actual Freebirds. And it was kind of cool to watch them come to the ring in slow motion. And it was pretty awesome. It's a little useless information there. They were in the movie Highlander.
I'm gonna mute you
Yeah, but-
if I'm getting all that background noise.
There's definitely more than one though.
Ha ha. Thank
right.
you for that. Thank you. You added so much to that right there. That was so much. But
All
yeah,
right.
Terry Gordy does look like the type of guy that would make love to somebody's stepmom while they're in the
He
next
looks
room and
like
drink all their Mountain Dew.
Buffalo Bill.
The
You
first
wake up for
family,
cereal in the morning and Terry's drinking the
There
last
was-
of it like,
Yes.
tough luck, kid.
Yes.
3 versions of the
Fuck is
first
this?
family.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart's first family, 1977. They started. Then in CWA, which is pre-AWA, there was 28 members of this stable. There
I
was
don't even know who half of these guys are.
There was 22 in the WWF version of Jimmy Hart first family, and in WCW there was just 4.
I love the Mr. Wrestling team and the Grapplers team that like, hey man, we need masks. Just change the color. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we
right.
got budget cuts. They didn't release people then. They just changed colors of masks.
Of course, the 4 Horsemen.
The original.
The original.
Still the greatest stable of all time.
Oh yeah.
Definitely get. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Definitely 4 Horsemen. Big fans out there. Yeah, Cornette was in that too, which is pretty wild. I didn't know Cornette was in there. The Hart Foundation. Tried to find the best picture with all of them, including Pillman.
Well, you got to have the fanny pack bulldog. I mean,
Yeah,
come
that's
on.
great. That is great. The fanny pack rocks.
He's like, what do you hold that up with? My dick? No, man.
Fucking
My
My
balls.
zoo
are-
boss got
fucking
drawstrings. I don't need no
sausage.
belt.
What do you think's in the pouch? My
he's got that
balls.
fucking elephant.
Matilda's
trunk.
ashes. All right.
Oh, jeez. The Heenan
Yeah,
family.
yeah, the Heenan
Yeah,
family was
that's
the
a stable
shit,
right
man.
there, buddy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Look at Bundy. And look at the head of Andre compared to the rest of them.
Dude, he's
I apologize.
fucking
2 seconds, guys.
gigantor.
2 seconds.
That's just crazy. But the Heenan family,
It
obviously.
looks like the welcoming committee when you go to jail for the first time. Like, drop the soap, boy.
Newer one, Inner Circle,
Inner
Jericho's
Circle,
here.
yeah.
Hey man,
in
you got to hand it to
AEW.
them. In the modern day where everything is so fickle, the fact that they've never broke them up, never really
Yet.
teased the breakup yet,
Yep.
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
let them float but always bring them back is pretty awesome.
yeah.
They're doing that with a lot of their stuff
I
too,
dig
like
it. I dig
Pinnacle, and like. But when they first came out with all these stables, it was like really solid stables. Now they're kind of still stables, but
I'm ready for Wardlow to fucking turn already, though.
yeah.
definitely.
We'll get to that. That's definitely
I
it's
almost
so
thought when
obvious now.
Spears grabbed the mic this week that like
Yeah, same.
Wardlow was going to put it through his head.
The Click.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's iconic. The play.
Yep. Obviously, guys that have been in other stables as well, or went on to be in other stables and kept the stables going throughout wrestling era.
So I knew this was going to be brought up, the Click, but I have to ask, does it really count as a faction even though they really never came out to the ring as the Click? They only did the curtain call?
Yeah, I'm going by
Yeah.
this website. I found they were listed as a stable on there.
I tend to agree with where Doc's head's at. I mean, you have the remnants of 2 iconic stables. I mean, Six or X-Pac was in both. But, I mean, really, you're talking about the NWA and Generation X. The Click themselves were never an official group on TV. Or,
True,
you
but
know,
And
anything
Kevin
like that.
Nash, if you look at Kevin Nash's picture right there, he looks like he stuck his fork in a light socket while drinking Mountain Dew.
he's pretty
Jesus.
angry. He's pretty unhappy in that picture there.
Yeah, he's
Sorry about
fucking a
your luck there,
porcupine
man.
right now.
Yeah.
oh,
wow.
Ministry
I
of Darkness.
forgot about them.
Look at Mabel.
There's
That
a
was
very,
them,
very
they were-
dark
should be in
stable.
this picture.
They were big in the Attitude Era.
Definitely. Of course, you got the Brood within there as well. We already talked
And what the
about
hell?
the
There's no
Brood.
naked Midian.
No.
No naked Midian,
No
no.
Midian. I didn't realize no Midian.
I actually like the Ministry of Darkness.
So did I.
They were fun. They were actually a
Like
very
I
fun
said, it
stable.
was a big
Ah.
staple in the Attitude Era.
Wow.
Am I better now, guys? Now that I'm home?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, it's a lot
The road
clearer
noise
now,
is what
brother.
was getting us. The
Yeah,
driving
just
noise.
road noise.
I
Roadhead, road
apologize.
noise.
Spider-Man was better than most. So
Yeah, okay. We get you. You saw Spider-Man.
He's
So-
gonna jackins off the entire show.
There was many
Yeah.
versions of the NWO as well, but I tried to find a picture with the most of them that were, legit in there. And you got to get the Buster in there. And
You could take Conan out of that picture,
Yeah.
and fucking Scott Norton.
oh, come on,
Where's
man.
the real heart and soul of the NWO? Where's
Yeah, I
Hulk
was
Hogan
about
at?
to say I did. Yeah, wow. I see Nash, but you can't. There's a couple others in there. Like Big Show, aka the Giant. He had a big play in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was
Remember they
hard
had
to-
him ring announcing.
Man.
It was hard to find a
Yeah.
picture with all of them.
All right.
Oh, there was 86 members on different.
Yeah, and I didn't go
I agree,
Latino
Sage
World
Gang, too many
Order or
people.
Blue. No Latino or Blue World Order.
Nation, okay.
Oh, the
Nation of
BWO was
Domination.
awesome.
Yeah, they were. And the LWO too. They made honorable mention.
We are the nation, live and in color. Don't diss
You can't
Farouk or he'll
deny.
fuck your mother.
All about that.
Speaking of, I want to talk about fucking your mother. When somebody asked me if I was a pizza delivery guy in one of the chats, I guess that's how I make money to fuck your mom.
Oh,
Oh,
The Nexus.
dang.
I just look at these guys back then
Why does
compared to now.
Darren Young look airbrushed?
I don't
Oh my
know.
God, yeah.
It's like
All the
somebody
makeup he
colored
does.
him
he
in.
looks
Yeah.
Photoshop.
Probably was. That's how he got his man. I mean,
That's actually the Miz. They just painted him.
Ray, look at
Miz.
them all. They all look kind of airbrushed. If you really get,
Tarver.
Yeah, very cartoonish.
I don't know. Tarver kind of looks it too, man. I mean, I think they all like kind of
No,
just.
he-
They kind of were like,
Tarver,
here, we're gonna.
Tarver.
Michael Tarver was Ahmed Johnson's illegitimate son. I broke the news here.
Ahmed Johnson, a purple Warple powerhouse.
Wow.
I mean,
Vince
those
had a lot to
promos
do
I
with this
could watch.
picture.
Toothy Boy. I like how you call people Toothy Boy.
shit. That's good shit right
His old promos, I could still watch
Airbrush 'em all.
those and laugh forever.
Pronouns, pal.
That's good shit.
Paul Jones's Army.
I've
Paul
never even
Jones.
heard of it.
I've
Oh my
never,
God,
yeah, I've
he
never
was
heard
one
of
of
it. But
oh, Paul
back-
Jones.
When
Back
I
in the old
was
school days,
Bodie's
yep.
age, when I was my son's age, I started watching NWA on Saturday mornings with my dad, and Paul Jones was I fucking hated him. I
I've
hated
never
his
even heard of
army.
him.
And what he did was he had a match. It was a hair versus hair match against Boogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. And I was all about it. I was so invested in this story, and I can't wait to watch Paul Jones get his head shaved. And it was the first time I ever saw a face lose a hair versus hair match. And Jimmy Boogie Man Valiant just sat down and just took it, man. Just let him shave his hair.
two of
And
my
he just
least
sat there and cried, and I was like, "Oh my God!" As a little kid, I wanted to chuck something at the TV. I was so mad.
favorite
Oh.
people are in this picture. You got
Warlord
the
and the
purple
Barbarian?
warlord and the barbarian.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Powers
Man,
of
My
pain.
fourth match ever when they tried to make me die.
Well,
What?
I mean,
I didn't know you worked the Powers of Pain.
Yeah, I was tagging with Axe, and they
Oh,
wouldn't let me out of
Jesus.
the match. I was so blown up, I thought I was going to puke in the ring.
Oh, they had fun with you
I
then.
was at the Virginia State Fair, baby. Big time.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, a lot of these are Paul Jones. On the left, Paul Jones. On the top, Paul Jones. I just found one with all of them. And, of course, the
Yeah.
Raging Bull Manny Fernandez and Ravishing Rick Rude.
The one
Warlord
with
and the
the
Barbarian.
one with the Barbarian and Warlords, the one I remember the most. I mean, he used to have like a Hitler style outfit. I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
he did. He had like this general outfit. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that son of a
Good
bitch.
to, good to
Oh,
see a gesture. Couple more here. This is number 21. Is not top
Thanks,
25
Walter.
if you're just joining us. These are just Ravens.
Oh, wow.
The fun. They were never big time. They were never like holding the tons of titles or nothing, but I thought they were entertaining. I thought they were
They
pretty
were.
Ravenswalk really made Kidman, though. If you really want to get technical,
True.
a lot of people like watched Kidman, but they really started to notice Kidman when he's Mr.
I
Itchy.
liked Raven's ECW stuff a lot more.
Yep.
Oh, who didn't?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, of course.
When Tommy Dreamer about killed him with that chair shot. Oh, Jesus.
All right, couple more here. The Shield.
Moving
All right,
on.
You can't knock it.
It's number
I know.
22.
Yeah.
Moving
Then,
on.
then I'll go over my honorable mention ones because I could have done a top 50, but we would have been here forever and finding all these pictures.
Yeah.
So I figured 25 iconic ones, and now I have a list at the end, so you guys don't have to memorize them. We'll look at the list in the end. I want everyone to pick 3 of your top 3 and one that you would take out of these 25. All right, let's get 3 more to go here. The Undisputed Era.
Hell
which we-
yeah.
Best
They were
modern
great.
day, best modern day faction.
About to be the undisputed elite.
And we could see them again. Or
I bet you they call them the Era. That's it.
The Era, yeah.
Yeah, they could easily get it through, or just Undisputed. Yeah, you can get away with it.
All right, and we got 2 more to go. This one,
Easy became
one of my favorites, along with Dr. Death.
Oh wow, the Varsity Club.
Varsity Club's old school.
Michigan, Syracuse, Oklahoma. Just I guess Rotunda kind of looked like a college dude, but then like you got the damn dog face gremlin and the Dr. Death and the leader. We'll be talking about Kevin Sullivan here in a little bit too. Again,
hi, Mr. Breaker. Your son's a hell of an athlete.
Papa Breaker. And the final one here in the 25 legendary stables.
Oh
yeah, I love them.
So the Wyatt family as well.
When I disappeared, did you show? I have to ask. Did you show the oh my god, they were in WCW, the Dungeon of Doom?
No, did not cover Dungeon of Doom.
All right, before we get into your idea, what I love about the favorites and stuff.
Oh fuck!
Can we talk about the biggest omission out of there, in my opinion?
Wait, let me go over honorable mention and let me see if I got it.
All
okay,
right,
here's the honorable mention. Ah, fuck. Hold on, let me get back to the end here so we can look at the list.
What the fuck, guy?
Easy, greasy.
Get your shit together.
Honorable mention: I have Imperium, Team Canada, Fortune from TNA, The Network from ECW, Spirit Squad, and 3 Count. I thought you'd get a kick
3 Count's the shit, man. I tagged with that Courageous before.
Spirit Squad and 3 Count.
You sold their gimmick for a while. What are you talking about?
I know.
Latino World Order and Blue World Order, Right to Censor, the Corporate Ministry, the Filthy Animals, Immortal of TNA, the Main Event Mafia of TNA.
I was waiting for that one.
The McMahon-Helmsley faction.
Oh, God.
The Radicals. The New Blood of WCW. Aces and Eights.
Yeah.
The Authority and the Corporation.
You forgot the League of Nations. Thanks, CH Gaming. More like the League of Mid-Carders, but still.
Did I get it, Ray?
No.
Which one?
So, one, Aces and Eights should definitely be up there. I mean, literally, TNA based their entire programming around them for 2 years. But the Triple Threat, man.
Fuck, yeah, that's right.
How could the Triple Threat be left
Holy shit.
Tito, Bam Bam, and Shane.
And fucking Shane, right.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
They should be in the top 25.
It's not a top 25, I told you. That's why I didn't call it a top 25.
Yeah.
Let me pull up this website real quick, and we'll just look at it. So, when you're looking at that list, CJ, which one would you take out?
Which one would I take out? I would take out what's that? Paul Jones Army.
The Paul Jones Army, okay.
Yeah, because I don't have.
And who's your top 3?
My top 3 is gonna be the Undisputed Era.
Okay.
The Wyatt family.
Cool.
And I'm gonna go with the 4 Horsemen.
All right. Well, for me, it's kind of easy. I got 4 Horsemen, NWO, and just because they're still going, I didn't really watch them as much, but just the people that are in it over the years, including AJ and Balor and all them, I put Bullet Club in there too. I will take Varsity Club out, even though I like them. I would take those as one I would take out. All right, Doc, 3 of your favorites and 1 you would take out.
Can you go back? Can you come back to me? I'm still trying.
Okay. Ray, 3 of your favorites and 1 you'd take out.
Well, I'm taking out the Clique because I don't really think they classify.
That's a good call.
For as far as my favorites, I'm going to go DX, but I'm going to go the original DX with China, Shawn, and Hunter.
Yep.
Not that I didn't enjoy the other iteration, just that was it. The Horsemen, hands down, best stable of all time. And then
agreed.
It's kind of a toss-up from there between the NWO and the Bullet Club because I feel like the NWO was so iconic in the way they changed wrestling.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Bullet Club helped lead a revival. Granted, it was really the elite guys that did it, but it was under the guise of the Bullet Club. And for 2 years, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing that shirt.
True. Very true. You ready yet, Doc, or are you going to go to E first?
Go to E, ladies first.
All right, Easy E. 3 of your favorites out of that list and 1 you would take out.
Well, I think Undisputed Era is definitely on there. I would put Money Inc. is one of my favorite factions.
Ooh.
Good call. Good
I like
shout.
it.
Good shout.
Would you count them as or wasn't it be a tag team?
And he disappeared.
And he's gone.
Wouldn't they be counted as a tag team though?
Big shout out, Micro Mike. Yeah, that's the thing. I'll show you the list here after we get everyone's picks, I'll show you the list real quick on the website.
I'm not arguing with him. Please don't think I am. I'm just saying, like,
No,
I like Money Inc. I like that pick.
I did
his
too.
device is not connected.
It
He
was
got
only
booted.
though. I mean, it was only Ted. I mean, I guess if you're counting Virgil, but Virgil was
or
Yeah,
the man
He
bitch.
wasn't making that fuck money.
Getting that fucking meat sauce.
That meat
All
sauce.
right, Doc, you're on the spot, man.
Yeah, I'm on the spot. Okay, so
3 are your favorites and 1 to take out.
I kind of went with the same idea Ray did. I am taking out the Click because they really weren't a faction in wrestling. You know what I mean? They had their own inner faction in the locker room, but they weren't.
True. Not like a TV on TV.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm throwing the Click out because that just makes my job easier. Number 2, I when it comes to the top 3, I am definitely taking the Heenan family because I grew up watching and hating the Heenan family. I mean, the fact that Heenan took one of the biggest, most giant hero on Andre the Giant and just turning him against Hulk Hogan, that was a heartbreaker. Heenan also, if you think about it, was involved in the turning of Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff on Hogan in that tag match against Studd and Bundy. I mean, my God, he, like I said before, to quote Eazy-E, boom. So yeah, definitely the Heenan family. I'm throwing a triple threat up in my number 3, and I'm going to have to go with the 4 Horsemen, man. The 4 Horsemen, there's no, when you mention stable, you think of this right here.
Yeah, if you can do this and this, and that's my 3 stables right there.
Yeah. So that's my 3. Triple threat, Heenan family, because of course age, and I'm definitely going with the 4 Horsemen.
Well, let's see if my computer is going to let me do this. No, probably not. Maybe. Let's see. Chrome tab. We're going to share.
It's almost a travesty how underrated the triple threat was, though.
Oh my God, they used to run rampant over ECW. Didn't you have the yellow shirt with the 3 on it? If I remember, didn't you? Yes, you did.
But this is the site. It's tough to see. EverybodyWiki.com. And they have on the right-hand side, it says tag team or stable, and it goes, here's the wrestling boom of 80s, 80 to 93, and so on and so forth. One reason why I didn't want to show this, because it's really tough to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody has way too much time on their damn hands.
But that's awesome, though. You have to admit, that's beautiful work. That's great work.
It is.
That's dedication.
We were on this website, this live stream, and this came up, and no one could figure out who the first ever stable was. So it was a big argument. So I started digging, and I was like, holy shit, what a find this is. And it goes all the way into, here's Inactive and Ring of Honor. They have all the tag teams, all the stables, the Dark Kingdom, Complete Players, Burning,
Golden Lovers.
It's such a thing, though, like, it's such a debatable thing, because even back in, early WWF, Bruno Sammartino had Larry Zbyszko and his son David, and they were a group that worked together and counteracted. So, I mean, were they technically a stable? Were they not?
I mean, I would say they technically were.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments.
That's what I'm saying, that there's so many of those type of groups where it's like, was it or wasn't it? And then there's so many great actual stables, like the Main Event Mafia and Fortune were both underrated, but yet essential if you take them in the time frame and the company that they were
right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Main Event Mafia,
like you said, it was a lot of their programming.
But Main Event Mafia, if you think about it, they got a lot of notoriety, and they started getting a lot of more noticeability after they were over. Is whenever they used to play the Jay Lethal when he's doing the impression of Ric Flair. Yeah, that's when the Man of Mafia, like, right there.
His Savage and Flair impersonations were great.
Yeah, they're spot on.
So, I mean, that's how that conversation talked. And I was like, it just went off on a tangent. I was like, that'd be a great segment for us to talk about. And just talk about stables. And
there's so many good ones. It's hard to pick just 3.
Yep. So, all right, we're going to make some sense of something here. 2 debuts. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, so we're going to talk about our 2 cents. And this time we got 2 debuts that have come up, and we might as well bring them up on the screen. There they are. Hook and Harlan making their debuts. Real quick, we'll get everyone's thoughts on these as we move on to the 6 senses, where all the meat and all the pay-per-views are. Harlan, to me, big guy. It's more about Joe Gacy, in my opinion, with the Harlan thing. He's kind of carrying him along, and he's just a big bruising brawler. Is going to beat the hell out of people. Parker Bordeaux, whatever you want to call him. But Hook, Yeah, Hook. Everyone's up in arms. It's all over the internet. Twitter blew up. He, to me, in my opinion, and that's all I can speak to, I think he lived up to the hype. I mean, him training in judo and wrestling, his attitude, the fact they said it was his idea, his entrance, his look was all his idea. He trained
looks like $1 million fucking dollars. Man.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he needs knee pads.
And he's a baby.
No.
I know his dad didn't do it, but his dad was so short.
This is one time where I'm gonna have to I hate the no knee pads thing, but I think it works for him.
I think it does too.
Yeah, he doesn't need any flash and glamour. He's got a body.
I love his look. He's definitely in great shape. I love that they went out and got Action Bronson, another New York to the core guy to do his entrance.
Dude, his
music.
theme entrance is a fucking banger, man. That's
I mean, in the ring, he had a unique style. I would have liked to have seen a few more suplexes, just as a harken back to his dad's style. But the fact that he used the Tasa Hajime and renamed it to himself, the fact that he almost wrestled expressionless, like his dad,
and just walked out. He didn't celebrate. He just walked out, chewing his gum.
Yeah, he wrestled with that. I don't give a fuck. Like kill them all attitude.
Yeah,
it's like total business thing, like a total
and the judo moves in there.
He's there to not fuck around and just get
now the
shit
big
done.
question will be, and we won't see this probably for a while, is when he has to sell.
Yep.
Is he as good? Because I mean, as far as looking convincing in offense, man, he looked amazing. He looked like $1 million. He looked 100% believable. He looked just as badass as his dad.
I think
he looked like the Dragon Ball Z guy a little bit. But just to play devil's advocate, what a lot of people were saying, without knowing a lot, is that it's only one match. Let's not crown him just after one match. And I agree, but it was damn impressive in my opinion.
And the thing is, like, I'm looking over in the comments, and someone says, "I hope he knows how to cut a promo." The thing is, really doesn't need it now. I mean, if you think about it, he walked in. He has
with him.
Well, that's what he already has a mouthpiece. He has his dad. Here's the thing, though, guys. If you think about it, he walked in that ring, literally just didn't face his opponent. He fucked shit up, but I mean, think about the beginning of it. He literally just looked up.
Turned his back to him.
Yeah, turned his back to him. I was like, "Fuck yeah, you're just like your dad, but you're better." Yeah, I wouldn't go there yet.
The kids
but can be better.
Can be better, exactly.
I'm sure the kid's going to be able to cut a promo. However, you got Taz, you got Ricky Starks and Team Taz, who are two of the best guys on the stick in that company, if not in the business.
Yeah, he doesn't need to cut a promo.
So, I mean, he has plenty of time to come along. If they keep presenting him like that, they definitely can have a homegrown main eventer because, I mean,
for sure.
He looked right now, charge me $100 for a ticket to go watch him and Daniel Bryan, and I'm in.
I want to see him and Sammy for the TNT.
All in.
No. All in, yep.
I tell you what, the other guy though,
I didn't even see it.
I will see this about Joe Gacy, and it may be an unpopular opinion. I like him too. Don't get me wrong, I like him too, but I'm just going to say it: Bray Wyatt 2.0.
He is.
I disagree.
Culty.
I disagree.
Little culty, but different.
I'm saying
it's different.
Still
different.
Culty, but different.
But it's culty still.
Here's my issue: Parker Bordeaux, who they were, touting as. Bray Wyatt 2.0, or Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar 2.0 and all that bullshit. Collegiate athlete, all that stuff. So why are they hiding him in this gimmick behind Gacy?
Maybe his work ain't just there yet.
I'm not opposed to Gacy having a heater. Gacy is the perfect mouthpiece to have a heater. Sorry, I keep stuttering here. I got a cough drop in, so I don't have a coughing fit on you boys.
Sorry.
But he's the perfect mouthpiece to have a heater. It's just Bordeaux has so much credibility as he was on ESPN, he was on every news service as an NCAA, national champion and blah blah blah. That why not bring him along as a real world gimmick like Gable? I mean, is he getting foreshadowed because of Gable Stevenson?
Maybe.
Is my question.
And a lot of people were saying he's Brock lookalike, and so they're going a different way than having him like Brock.
I kind of like that they're going a different way.
He does have the skills.
Time will tell. I mean, these are both one matches, so I mean, we're just passing judgment. I just feel like you have someone in the national news and in the real sports world news, you would think that you'd want to play into that as WWE, as opposed to hide him behind
Joe
your
Gacy.
most controversial mouthpiece.
But these guys, neither of them you can really say, yes, it's their first match ever on TV and stuff, but neither of them are green. They're both amateur wrestlers, have been fighting for a while. They've been led up in the right direction. So I think they both have pretty big futures. I just figured it'd be good to
that's
cover
a
that
good point.
here.
That's a great
I
point.
mean, like I said, I didn't see the Harlan match Tuesday, but I mean, I'm sold.
It was
on
just
Hook
domination,
100%.
like, you know.
Yeah.
I got to point out somebody that's listening to us or watching us right now. I'm going to talk about Mike's comment that Jim Cornette was even impressed with Hook.
Yeah.
And Jim Cornette is known to motherfuck everything. Yeah.
I was going to say, if Jim Cornette didn't shit on it, something's up.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's nice to see two fresh faces that are going to do well for a long time, hopefully.
I think they did the Hook thing right, though. They did the Hook
Salvation
thing.
Army Santa Claus.
Oh,
my
damn.
thing with the whole Harlan thing is hopefully they're doing a good build for him, because I mean, you lose the Garganos, you lose the O'Reillys, a lot of these new guys, people have no fucking clue who they are, so they can't get invested in them.
We'll talk about that too. That's coming up on Sixth Senses. But before we get to the sixth,
from what I've heard, there's already a call to pull Breaker up to the main roster.
I think that's a terrible fucking idea.
Yeah, too early.
Terrible idea.
He's another one that has a bright future, but yeah.
I'm with him.
We're going to get into
broken
Sixth
arm
Senses.
Yeah.
Sixth Senses, we got some controversial topics to cover, and we have some pay-per-views to cover, or I guess Supercard, since last night's wasn't a pay-per-view. But before we do that, we're going to talk about a little bit about War Games, too. So let's look back at War Games.
Yeah, they can move to this. Your soul, man, they can move to this. It's brand new. Open your eyes and realize it's the new guys. Y'all man.
All right, I lied. I got one more commercial. I can't. This is our final commercial tonight in honor of the.
I think I've seen it already.
Last night, and yeah, you did see it. We got one more commercial for you old WCW fans. This is a classic.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is I'm not allowed to shower right now. So any one of those Nitro girls could come over and sponge bathe me.
$15, man.
That depends. Do you want the ex Miss Diamond Dallas or the current Miss Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
Bring them all.
I don't think I'd kick any of them out of bed for eating crackers, you know.
That's 30
You realize
$15, little man. Put that shit in my
Meryl
hand.
Streep at this moment.
That's
hey, fuck it.
I'm sure not all of those girls age well.
All I gotta say is this: do you know how many bottles of Perel were probably lost to that thing?
I want to see some
keep in
current
mind,
Nitro
folks,
Girl pictures of today.
Before
one
the
of them
internet
looks like Betty White beaten with a toaster. I guarantee.
Listen,
Hey, Betty White's a saint.
I didn't say she wasn't a saint.
She really isn't. Did you ever see Lake Placid? She's not a saint.
Is a fucking saint.
All right, let's get to the Sixth Senses. We have another slideshow to go through. So let's talk about War Games first. Just personally, I thought it was going to be shit, and I was pretty entertained. I dug it.
I was as well.
I was as well.
So what do you guys think about the ladies one?
Here's one thing I'll say about the ladies match. I liked it, and I liked it, the story they did with that Cora Jade. My only problem is I wish that they would have taken her completely out of the match and then had her come back at the end. I did like how they had Io Shirai pop her shoulder back into place or whatever.
Yep. She sold very well, Cora Jade.
I feel like it would have had a lot more meaning behind it had she got actually taken out by the doctors and whatnot and then come back in at the end.
Well, if you remember, though, last year's War Games, they did a similar thing with Dakota Kai.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, so it would have been like kind of repeating the same basic gimmick at two women's matches in a row, even though they're a year apart.
I like Dakota Kai, but I cannot get over, and I know this is a trend nowadays, and it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but women with your high-waisted pants covering your damn belly button look like granny panties to me. I'm sorry. I just can't get into it.
I'm not kicking her out of bed.
Me either. I'm just saying that style, that trend is not for me. I like the low-waisted shit. I don't know. I know it's trendy, and that's all.
I'm all about toxic attraction.
But when your zipper's like this long, I'm not into toxic attraction at all. I think Mandy Rose is fake as hell. She's terrible on the mic, and she's
Gigi Dolan. My God, that's one of them. That's one of them situations where you're like,
they look like some strippers.
Just playing.
Yeah. Okay. And with it, and they kick ass.
The tag team is dope. I like the tag team.
Let me guess. You're more attracted to Molly Holly and Mae Young.
No. I like Cora Jade. I dig her.
I do too, actually.
Mandy is. I remember Mandy from, what was it, Tough Enough or whatever she started.
Yeah.
And she was mud, and she's gotten a lot better, but she's fake from head to toe to me. I don't know. People love her,
and that's kind of what they're going for. So
yeah, I know.
works.
I know. If I had to pick two out of one off each team, I would pick, of course, Gigi, and I'd pick Io Shirai. There's something just
I
about
would pick
Io
Gigi
Shirai.
and Cora Jade, actually.
Cora Jade's cute too, but it's Io.
I'll
Io
take
Shirai.
Sheeta over Io, though.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat, Sheeta. Yeah,
Sheeta.
I
We'll
don't
talk
know,
about
I think,
Sheeta in a
yeah.
little bit too, but let's get to the men's war games.
Now, who I picked for these teams? I'm just joking.
I knew that it was going to be 2.0, but I really wanted the black and gold to get that win.
I was cheering for the old guys myself, man. I wanted
Same,
black
but
and gold. I think
it
everybody
makes
was.
sense. It makes sense to give it to the guys who are going to run the one with the ball. Apparently,
Right.
I don't know, man. Pete Dunne was such an ass kicker, and we
he's a
really want to
beast.
see Eli Drake, aka
LA
Knight.
Knight. He needs a push.
Yeah, he
I
does.
agree.
And I just figured maybe just propel those two because Ciampa doesn't need a push, and Gargano was on his way out, but just to push those two to be the new trendsetters, the new barriers for the NXT 2.0, I think that would have been a good idea.
Right?
In my opinion, they missed the opportunity. LA Knight is not an original black and gold member. If you want
He's
to call
not.
it.
You're correct.
They should have flipped him
And he's
in the War
NWA.
Games. They should have turned him.
Yeah.
Turned him heel.
Good call.
And that way they could have
yeah,
had
yeah.
a filler feud with Ciampa to kind of let Breaker keep raising a little bit, let that simmer a little bit. And I think they just kind of missed the boat on that. I mean, LA Knight's not over as a face. He's over with the smart marks who love his mic work.
Yeah, but he's
not
acting
an
too
original
much like
black
The
and-
Rock.
Yeah, he's not an original black and gold guy, so I think that would have
No.
been the good storyline for him to turn on his own team.
So you think like what Perfect did, like what I
Yes,
mentioned
exactly.
earlier?
That would have been.
And
a
I
good
mean,
call.
Ray kind of touched on this, I think, earlier. I get them wanting Braun Breaker, but if they're calling him up, why even fucking bother?
I don't know.
Even if they're not
He's
calling
good.
him up, I just feel like he still needs time
Oh,
to
for
establish before they put the belt on him.
Yeah.
And I still feel like Tommaso, to validate his reign and to validate his spot in the new NXT as kind of the benchmark veteran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he needs another 1 to 3 title defenses.
Agreed.
And it's hard to keep him from Breaker whenever you're pushing Breaker as the top babyface and everything. But if LA Knight turns on Ciampa, turns on the team, then you have a reason for a blood feud that can at least take us through a title defense.
A couple months, yeah.
I agree.
But all in all, like you guys said as well, I mean, I was like set up for disappointment, but I was entertained. I thought it was a good show.
It was a great show. I thought that the
Look,
like I
the
said,
2.0 guy's got a shit ton of talent. Carmelo Anthony fucking gets it.
Oh,
That
yeah.
dude is great.
He does have a great mind.
Braun Breaker fucking gets it. That dude is going to be fucking fantastic.
Yep.
I'm not knocking the new wave of talent. It's just like I said, I think there's missed opportunity there in the booking, which is the same problem I have with WWE across the board.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just I don't know.
Gargano
I guess
is
actual
gone
wrestling
from
logic
NXT.
doesn't exist in WWE.
Well, here that's going to lead us into the next. I believe it's the next slide. So here's our 6 in the 6 senses that we're going to talk about. Kevin Owens obviously just re-signed, so he's going to
That's great.
People were shitting on him, which no, listen.
They threw the money at him, and
got
I
a
don't
big
blame
money
him for taking
contract,
it.
and he's
2 to
doing what's
3
best for
million
his
per
family.
year downside.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all.
Do you guys think there's a world title run in that?
Yes.
It
I
has to
hope.
be. Dude, they're not paying him Roman Reigns money.
I would love to see him win this. I doubt it, but I'd love to see him to win the January 1st pay-per-view and just be like, suck it, everybody. I think that would be because he is definitely the underdog in that match.
I don't think it's that far-fetched. I think with his new kind of I'm a liar, full-blown heel type deal, I think there's more money in Big E chasing him to WrestleMania than there is anybody else. I think flipping the title to him and then having Rollins and Big E compete for Big E to overcome Rollins and become the number 1 contender.
Right.
And finally get his shot back at WrestleMania.
Tony D'Angelo, another one Brandon brought up.
Yeah.
Thank
you, PFW. Appreciate it.
But yeah, Kevin getting 2 to 3 million downside per year. How do you turn that down?
I agree too. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I love to play devil's advocate, the other side of the coin. This isn't my opinion, because when it happened at first, I was a little disappointed because I thought he was going to go. But then when I thought about it, everyone's basically saying, "Oh, she should have went here." Nah, he did the right thing for him.
To do what's best for him and his family.
He's 37 years old.
And you got to think that the writing is in the contract, title reign, and stay on the top for a while for him to sign.
You got to look at career longevity though too. He's 37 years old. Kevin Owens is not shy about taking a bump. I mean, how Monday night that bump he took towards Lashley almost.
I'm going to quote.
Was nasty as shit.
I'm going to quote a brilliant man right now. It's better to mid card in WWE than it is in AEW at this point. If you really,
I think that is totally imperative on what if you're carrying Cross. If you're carrying Cross, that statement doesn't apply because carrying Cross would have a chance in AEW.
Oh yeah,
Kevin Owens would come in as a main event. He would come in hot. Don't get me wrong.
And he would die out quickly.
But in WWE, he's already flirted with main event, and the fact that they're offering him how much money they're offering him as a downside. So if he goes out next month and gets hurt and is on the shelf for 9 months, he's still making $2 to $3 million next year.
Yeah, I agree. So let's go to Johnny Gargano. Next one up on top of him. What do you guys think about his future?
He's going to AEW.
AEW.
Think so? And Kyle as well joining the era. As you think?
I think
in my honest opinion,
ooh,
I think Gargano does a short-term deal with somebody, few
Impact,
months, and does a run and ends up back in WWE.
Really? O'Reilly, there's already rumors and a lot of rumblings that we could see him next week.
O'Reilly,
I'm fine with that.
Both Gargano and O'Reilly's contracts expire, making them free agents. There is no clause.
No 30-day or whatever, right?
Kyle will be with AEW by next. That probably is a surprise for next week.
Yeah, they were saying that could be the surprise for next week. Now, okay, Cross actually has been pictured with a stable or a group that we'll talk about here in a little bit. So we might want to put that one on the table. Keith Lee, I don't know if any rumors about where he's going to go or where you guys think he'll end up.
I haven't heard anything.
He might be taking some time off, man, just to lick his wounds and just reset, recover, and replenish what he wants to do.
Yeah. I've heard that Impact is a major possibility because Mia Yim is in talks with Impact.
That would be good.
I think he would do well in Impact.
I think he'd do phenomenal.
Me too. And then, of course, go ahead, Doc.
I was going to say, I didn't get the really quote on Kyle O'Reilly. My apologies for that.
No, go ahead.
Kyle O'Reilly, though, if you noticed, there was a promo of Adam Cole. If anybody point this out, just stop me now.
We said earlier that he might be the surprise next week. Good.
Yeah.
Continue, Doc.
Also, I just want to say that if you notice what they're doing, they keep keeping Bobby. The Bucks keep taking Bobby and just pushing him out of the way, like he's like that little brother. They even said, "Hold the super clicks there," and then the one Buck corrected Cole and said, "Hey,"
and Bobby Fish.
Yeah, and Bobby Fish. So I kind of think like, wow, okay, so it's going to get to the point where it's like, okay, if you can't accept my two friends who had my back since the black and gold era, you know something, fuck you, I'm going to go. And then what's going to happen is going to be the Undisputed Era taking on the Elite. It's going to happen.
Seems like the writing is on the wall.
I feel like that'll simmer until
Say hi.
ready to come back.
Bodie.
What's up, bud?
What's up, little man?
Bodie had his first wrestling match not too long ago.
Yes, he did. He had his first two wrestling matches. He did all right. He got some stuff he got to work on, but he's doing pretty good, man. I'm really proud of him.
So best of luck to Bodie and his endeavors.
And I think he's an honorary member, if you haven't seen on Twitter yet, but a lot of Dark Order people giving him support during that day.
While you mention that, make sure you guys in the live chat, and if you're watching this replay, check the comments. I mean, the description of this show. There is the links for everybody's Twitter handles. Make sure you follow all of us and stuff. And
please,
good information out there. Follow us all on Twitter. Last but not least here, our weekly Wyndham Watch. We got to say, we saw red lights on AEW last week, and people started speculating. The lights went out last night, and people started speculating.
I'm wondering who Malachi Black was talking to in that.
We'll talk about that later.
It's Brody King.
Come on, man.
He legit said
King.
He legit signed off with the line, "You're more than a king now."
Oh, did he? I missed that.
That's part of the next section. We'll talk about that momentarily.
I don't give a shit. I break shit.
Breaking news. All right. So I just figured we'd talk about these 6 people and where we thought they would end up going. Everything. Yeah. We got some big shows to talk about now. But let's talk about 2 controversial topics first. Jeff,
one second before we jump to that, I just want to you touched on the Karrion Kross thing. Are we coming back to that in the 6?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
I don't want to fuck up 2 points of news.
No, that's all right. No.
Yeah, thanks.
The chat already, Brody King all over the place. So
I don't even know who Brody King is.
So we'll talk about him in a little bit as well. So Jeff Hardy at a house show pretty much got his ass handed to him the entire match and then walked out of the match. No celebration. Speculation started coming that he was drunk, high, under the influence of something again. So people all over internet and social media were wishing him well immediately. And obviously with his past, it's understandable. However, there was some people that were very loud and boisterous about the fact that they thought he was doing it just to get out of his contract. And then people were very quick to almost try to cancel these people for saying that. How dare you? He could have a problem. Let's think about his family and his health. And then it flipped again where both Matt and the family would come out and say, he's okay, quit worrying. And then there was a video that came out with both Jeff and Matt where even Jeff was kind of clowning on it, say he was listening to a song called Release Me. And now it does look like the possibility is even stronger that he kind of set himself up knowing that if he would walk out, that if they would offer him rehab, he denied it, that they would probably release him. So let's get Doc, let's get your thoughts on this scenario first.
I'm just wondering if he did what Kurt Angle did, because Kurt Angle did kind of the same thing to get out of his thing to go to TNA. Here's where I'm at with this whole thing, and I work with outside of the pro wrestling commentary, which is, my shoot job, as we call it in the business, is I'm a mental health and also drug and alcohol therapist. The fact that, you've never seen this kind of reaction from Jeff Hardy. I mean, you did see what he did when he went in the ring inebriated against Sting, and he said he would never, ever do that again.
Yeah.
He still went into that ring and he still worked the match. I watched it, and, it was basically like the normal, you got the one guy that gets beat up and you're building up for that tag. And that's what I thought it was. And there he went. I feel like
they even said he was taking pictures of people in the crowd on the way out and stuff. And there was no real reports that he was messed up backstage.
That's why I think he did have a minor relapse. I think he did have a minor relapse, though.
Here's the thing to consider.
Good, Ray.
Okay, so we all know in the wrestling business, especially with somebody who works a style like Jeff Hardy, there's bumps and bruises. CJ's dealing with it right now. That he has to be very conscious of what kind of pain treatment he does because CJ is in recovery.
Yeah.
And Hardy obviously deals with that. So if you're Jeff Hardy, who I don't know if people realize this, had 18 months added to his contract because of previous injury history. So not that his contract should have already been expired, but WWE added time because of injury. So here's Jeff thinking that I'm getting out at this time. My brother's working for AEW, making a decent living, but he only works once a week, maybe not even once a week. Obviously probably having a lot better time with pain and injuries and longevity of his career. Obviously there's a spot for him in AEW. I mean, AEW, it's a no-brainer for them to hire him, even if they take time away. But you're looking at all those things, and you're at a house show. How much random stupid shit happens at house shows? Like, I've seen
that's where most of the guys end up getting hurt.
I've seen fans pulled into the ring at a house show that is the kid of a referee or one of the cousin of someone in the back and pin someone and shit like that. So at a house show, he takes the heat, he rolls out of the ring, and he goes through the crowd. Maybe he had to shit. And he's thinking, it's a house show, I'm out. You know what I mean? Maybe he is relapsing a little bit. Maybe he just has the flu that's going around and just felt like shit and was like, dude, I'm out. It's a house show.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason being, he's being characterized and marginalized because of his history and not giving the benefit of the doubt. And when they come to him and ask him to go to rehab, I don't need to go to rehab. I'm clean. I'm not checking into a facility for 60 days. Like I literally
think I'm, think I relapse.
And of course, because of Jeff Hardy's history, everybody's like, yeah, okay, whatever, Jeff, whatever. Yeah. So is this a big misunderstanding that led to a release? Is it a contrived plan that got him released? Or is this just fucking happenstance and it happened and it stands?
And no one's going to know.
There's only one person that knows, and that's
Jeff Hardy. CJ, your take on the whole thing. We talked
about.
What's that?
Like Ray said, me being in recovery myself, I don't like that he's getting singled out as that being the reason why. I mean, I'm not to say it is or it isn't. From what I've seen mostly of his stuff lately, he seems like he's in pretty good mental capacity.
Every
and
report
whatnot.
about Jeff for the last
Maybe he doesn't like
Yeah.
house shows.
2 years.
Wally
is
says maybe he doesn't like house shows.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like that he's being labeled as, oh, he relapsed. I'm not saying he has or he hasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe he did minor, but I don't think that should be the first thing that people go to.
I think if it was a legit relapse, though, I don't think that he would be making fun of it. I don't think that his family would be making fun of it. If this was a true relapse.
Yep.
I think that he's just mentally not happy with his direction in WWE.
I mean, the biggest story he's had is he had his old music back. No more words. That's
what about the Karrion Kross thing? He was the first person to pick Karrion Kross in WWE.
But also you had 2 weeks after Karrion Kross, he was chasing people around for the 24/7.
Yeah.
So it's up and down. He could have been. So will we see the Hardys? I think we will.
Said that they will never put Jeff Hardy in a main event storyline again because they don't trust him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really love the stuff he was doing with Damian Priest.
I did too.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It looked like they were going to give him a big run again. And then
my opinion is he just was not happy and he found the way to get out and it worked. Good.
I don't know if it was like something. I don't think it was pre-planned, like him and Matt were his big plan. But he got pissed off, and then one thing led to another. The dominoes started to fall, and he was like, "Well, this is my opportunity. Since I know I rejected rehab, they're going to get rid of me. Let's go." So controversial, and I wish we all wish Jeff the best. If he's having issues, get better. But really
but I don't think he is having issues. I think he's fine.
But to see the Hardys,
I honestly do too. I don't think the family would make light of it.
No,
if they had an issue, they would have. I think there would have just been radio silence from that
little feud with Austin.
Sometimes that's how people handle things, though. If you look, I mean, I've done it. I've had people in therapy literally joke about their disarrays and you know their what's happened with them, and I think maybe this could be just the way you cope.
Yeah,
and
so we're not writing off.
I don't disagree with you there, but again, I'd like to think that that's not what it is.
I know. I'm just.
But a controversial topic, obviously.
Yeah.
So let's get to another controversial topic. People that a lot of people don't really know about. You've heard of Carlito before, and we talked. We said we talk about Kevin Sullivan again, and this is WCPW, World Class Pro Wrestling, down in Texas, Irving, Texas, and it was a match that went awry, where the Blood Hunter took it upon himself to attack the referee and basically dig a spike into his head so badly that he was left in a pool of blood, unconscious, and the referee ended up having to look like this.
Jesus Christ. They had to shave his head.
So he also is now dealing with a blood infection and all kinds of other shit. Like, the dude's messed up.
Yeah. CJ, you've been in the ring with the stripes on.
Yeah.
Someone taking it upon themselves. What's your take on this thing?
Fuck that guy. He should never fucking wrestle again. He could go fuck himself. I don't care who he is or what he is or where he's came from or who he was trained by. You're a fucking piece of shit.
The bottom line is, the bottom line is that CJ is 100% right.
Yep.
But if this was a pre-planned spot,
he was supposed to bleed, is what I heard, but not like this.
Where the guy took it too far, then he's unprofessional and should be blackballed.
Right. Yeah. And if it was like a pre-planned spot, you don't do it to the point where the ref is unconscious and can't tell you, hey, enough.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So Kevin Sullivan being involved in this is all the more weird to me because, I mean, you're talking about a guy who's been in the wrestling business for 60 years, has been a booker for national companies.
Right.
I mean, you would think that
he should know better.
You would think that he would have laid it out.
Maybe he didn't know. Maybe this dude just went upon himself. There was reports that the guy was acting up in the back like he was drunk or high or something, and he just didn't give a shit.
And if that's the case, criminal charges need to be brought against him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
that's what I was about to say.
Anytime I'm getting into the ring, whether it's as a wrestler across the ring from my opponent, whether I haven't been an actual referee, but I've been a guest referee in many occasions. I've been a manager in many occasions. I've been ringside for commentary.
Perfect.
Any time that any spot involving anybody, that all needs to be pre-planned out, pre-worked out.
Yeah.
You talk, especially the guys, like for instance, Doc, whenever Doc was young in the business and had just started commentating, We had Doc do an interview segment in the ring. And did you get punched or did you throw a punch? I don't remember.
I didn't throw during an interview segment. I did throw a punch on Feel Bad that you taught me how to punch, if you remember.
That's what I'm
You're
talking
one-
about.
yeah.
I mean, you're talking 15 years ago, dude, and I got CT.
Sorry, I didn't know which
So-
one you meant, because I know there was that one, and I got punched
So
on an
you
interview
have
before
Doc,
too. So
who is not a trained wrestler, has never had any official training. He's only had some, people work with him here or there for what he needed to do at the time.
Right.
Phil Bad, who the owner of RWA, also plays a character, no official wrestling training. So we went over that spot prior to the show for 15, 20 minutes. And I mean, it's a very simple spot, but still Doc throws the punch wrong and Phil Bad has a busted orbital bone. You know what I'm saying?
You're putting your life in someone else's hands, and for something like this,
it's not something to be taken lightly.
No.
So I don't have to see this picture anymore. Doc, I want you to close it out, your opinion on this scenario, and tell us about your little story that you had to run and you were telling me before as well.
which one?
An unexpected.
The one you were,
Oh, that. Okay.
It's unexpected to a different.
First,
so tell us what
first
you
and
think
foremost,
about this.
I'm going to quote the great CJ Sensation. Fuck this guy. Okay. He deserves to be out of the business. He deserves to be blacklisted. Fuck this guy. Okay, cool. And what I'm trying to say to you guys is this too. Like, I'm sorry, and I'm going to point up at my best friend who I've been in his wedding, and I'm going to point further up to CJ Sensation. I'm going to say this: if I'm in the ring and somebody starts doing that shit to me, I'm sorry. That 2PW RWA locker room, if DH is in the stands watching, they're in that ring fucking that dude up.
Oh, for sure.
That's
100%.
the part I'm kind of upset about. That
100%.
nobody. You know who stopped it? That's the part that pisses me off the most.
A woman.
The woman, the valet's the one that stopped it. I'm not saying anything bad about the woman's a woman. No, I'm saying the fact that the woman's the one that jumped in the ring, not the 250-pound dudes. She's the one that got in the ring and said, "Dude, get the fuck off." The fact that
no one else stopped it, right?
And you know what? They were saying earlier. Thank you, CH Gaming. The Miz got interviewed, and they showed it on. You should see the interviewer showing him the video, and he literally goes, "This dude should be banned for life."
Yeah,
100%. I mean,
so on a less level, Doc told us a story about another unexpected thing that happened to him.
Okay,
at one of the shows. So tell the story.
All right.
I
was doing promos for independent and out of Pittsburgh called Rise Wrestling, and Shirley Doe just lost the tag team titles, and he did a promo by himself. He never likes to be interviewed, so I stood in the back and just watched him a little bit back behind the cameraman, and he started coming towards the camera for us. So I started backing up a little more so I didn't get in the shot. And he goes, "I hate this wall. I hate this. I hate that." He goes, "I hate Doc," and he grabs me and just goes, "Sorry," and just chucks me through a wall made of wooden pallets and boxes, and I just laid there like, fuck my life.
But here's the difference. Shirley Doe is a trained professional,
and you still care of me.
Not only is Shirley Doe though a trained professional, Shirley Doe is a trainer. Shirley Doe has trained many other wrestlers.
Guy is the consensus.
He knows how to protect you.
Just a simple fact. Speaking kayfabe, I don't know. I'm going to say it. I don't care. He messaged me today and he said, "Hey man, I'm sorry I caught you off guard, but it was just a heat of the moment and it looked great. And thank you for selling it so well." So yes, hey DH, all that stuff you went over with me, it worked.
All right. So 2 controversial topics in there, but now let's talk about pay-per-view that happened, and I was watching it on a total legal site, and I watched wrestling, so to speak.
I was watching it on a total illegal.
I was ready to pay the 20. It was only $25, but I missed the beginning, so I didn't get to see the first couple of matches, but we will cover them because I know some of you guys know the guys in the first match as well. So let's go to the first match.
Yeah, I didn't catch all of it.
Me either. First match was Shane Taylor Promotions versus the Righteous. Shane Taylor Promotions, 6-man champions, lost to the Righteous.
Okay.
My heart broke on that one.
And I don't know who the Righteous are, but I like how they look.
They are Vincent Bateman and Dutch with Vita Von Star. Like I said, didn't see that one.
Okay.
But we want, first of all,
they look like the kings that got killed first in Game of Thrones.
I dig it.
Vincent was in the Kingdom. He's a good worker, a little bit out there as far as his character work goes. But
6-woman match: Angelina Love, Mandy Lone, and Miranda Alize.
This match, if you watched it, was shit.
Over Chelsea Green,
with all 2 of those people. So
which ones, TJ?
I've worked with all of them, but that Mandy Leone and what the hell's the blondie?
Angelina.
Yeah, Angelina.
The match was shit. Actually, afterwards, when they were all embracing, you could read everything on Allison Kay's face. She even looked like the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah. So we'll get to the good stuff because there was a lot of good stuff in this show, man. So another dark match here in the pre-show was a 10-man wild card tag team match that I didn't find a picture for.
I saw this match. It was
Flip
decent.
Gordon, PJ Black, Cheeseburger, and the Bouncers got the win. But
okay,
then this opened the real show.
Yeah.
I missed this one too.
I saw this one. It was decent.
What'd you think of it? Dragon Lee and Ray Horace. I've seen them fight before, but what'd you think of this match?
I enjoyed it. I don't know too much about either of them, but it was your typical lucha style match. Had a lot of good. Well, it wasn't terrible. They tried to tell a little bit of a story, which I was cool with. It was a decent match. Nothing crazy, but it was a good match.
One funny thing about this is Dragon Lee has beaten Ray Horace in every match in their entire career in every promotion they've ever been in.
Well, he got another win in this one.
That's a good story there if you think about it. That's that one wrestler you keep chasing.
Story, yeah. I mean, if I was Ray Horace, I'd be like, I don't want to beat him. Like save that until hopefully we're, farther along in our careers and it matters.
TV title. Dalton Castle lost. Rhett Titus is possibly the last ROH TV champion.
I like Joe Hendry. I love Joe Hendry. Just because I've seen some of his stuff outside of Ring of Honor.
I was happy
Titus
for Titus.
Deserves it. Titus has been with Ring of Honor literally for Jesus Christ, probably since not long after they started.
I was rooting for Brian Johnson so much on this.
Woods defended his Pure Rules ROH Pure Championship, and I believe he was on Dark this week too.
He was on Dark this week, and I hate the Pure Rules.
You're high. I love the Pure
Doc,
Rules.
didn't you say Brian Johnson had a nickname or something you mentioned last time?
The Mecca.
The Mecca.
Yeah, the Mecca.
Brian Johnson. He was so awesome to work with and everything, and I was kind of hoping he'd win it, so he'd bring because he's hopefully booked for RWA some more. I would love to see him bring that belt onto the.
Marina Shafir was on Dark.
She was on Dark. So for people out there who's watching, maybe don't know, ROH pretty much closing the doors now. They're saying April or whatever they're going to try to come back. But if you didn't hear the news,
I'm not buying it.
This final battle could be the final battle altogether. So this was it was an epic type of like an ROH show I couldn't miss, so I had to watch it just because of the fact that
Danhausen wasn't there, Walter, because he had surgery on his leg.
Yes, he did. I will say this: I think
we could see Josh Woods bring that Pure title to AEW. Maybe
I think that ROH thing. I don't think it's dead, and I'll tell you why after we go to the matches. I don't. Okay. I'll tell you why.
Kenny King and Shane Taylor is a grudge match. It was brutal. I dug it. Ladders, tables. I dug it. Doc, what'd you think of this one?
Shane Taylor, one of the best in the business today. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. I think that he just had a phenomenal matchup, and I think that him and Kenny King, I thought, stole the show. That was an amazing match. It just blew me away.
Shane Taylor has, and we've always known that.
Mm-hmm. Since the beginning.
Jackson got out and she freaking.
So.
Ray got some other issue going.
Yeah,
I unfortunately didn't see this match, but I've had the pleasure of working alongside Shane. Shane's stayed at my parents' house with me. He's a hell of a talent and the way he moves around for as big as he is, he doesn't need to, but he can.
He's phenomenal in the ring. I mean, just a simple fact that and Kenny King, I mean, he's no slouch himself. I mean, if you watch Kenny King, I think he's the one. Is he the one that did the Impact where he was on top of the cage, walked, then did
no, that was
my bad. Sorry, I thought that was him.
It was the guy that was in WCW, Elix Skipper.
Oh, that was Skipper. Okay, I thought that was Kenny King. My bad. But Kenny King, like I said, is no slouch himself. I mean, these two tore it up, man. Tore it up. Mm-hmm. But there was a little bit of controversy after this one. Everybody from Shane Taylor Promotions got in a ring with Kenny King, helped him up. And they all did this, and they didn't get it because they went right to a video of CM Punk. And I think that was wrong. That showed a lot of empowerment. It showed so much.
Yes.
And ROH dropped the ball bad on that one.
That picture did make its way around social media a lot afterwards.
But it should have been shown live. No disrespect to CM Punk. I know that he was a big part of ROH, but they could have waited. They could have waited to press that play button.
True. Women's Championship, Willow and Roxy. Roxy won the match, but the big story was afterwards, Deonna Purrazzo making her walk down to the ring with the AAA title. And she said, I'm going to go win the Impact Championship. And then I want you in a winner takes all match. I loved it. Would you think
I love
of this
Deonna Purrazzo. She's so fun to work with.
Doc?
She is awesome. Purrazzo, I thought, got a really, really bad break in NXT and WWE. I thought they could have utilized her a lot better. And like I said, I really would love this. I love when people do this. A winner take all. Everybody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see champion versus champion. I think this is going to be a phenomenal match in the future, wherever it ends up.
What's her nickname? It's
the Virtuosa.
Great nickname too. I dig it. So yeah, I love the fact that throughout this show, and you'll see more, that this could be or whatever the last ROH, but they're definitely carrying shit on to different places,
Forbidden
and
Door,
making stuff happen. So that's what I really like about this.
Sorry, my dog got out of my gate and my daughter had a panic attack.
All right, so we're good now.
Is the dog safe?
Yeah, Jackson's
Thank
back.
God.
He's fine.
All right, good. Hey, did you know Kenny King was on The Bachelor, by the way?
Yes, I did know Kenny King was on The Bachelor, and before all that happened, I was putting over our boy Shane Taylor as being just an absolute horse of a man, horse of a human. I mean,
and he's a big fucking teddy bear.
He'll
be mad at me saying that, but
and he's one of the nicest guys ever, man.
From
one
him falling asleep on my
chaise
lounge to him threatening to moonsault me.
Another match,
amazing.
Another match that had a lot of aftermath, as we saw Brody King, Homicide, Tony Deppen, and he was joined by Rocky Romero to face Tyler Rust, Tracy Williams, Eli Isom, and EC3. So
I caught
Brody.
the tail
There's
end of
Brody
this.
King, the guy we'll be talking about in a
beard?
little while with the spoiler.
Yeah,
right
with
in
the
front.
beard and the chain. He's actually Malachi Black's tag team partner. They're tag team champions right now at PWG.
Oh, okay.
And after the match, good.
He was in a stable with PCO and and stuff. He's a hell of a worker, hell of a character guy.
I've heard the name. I just haven't seen much of any of.
But he's a graduate of the Santino's School in Los Angeles, California. So is Santon, that was in that 6-man tag match.
Yep.
So after the match, EC3 grabs the mic and cuts a pretty wild promo and says,
Release the Titan.
Release the Titan. And out comes former Braun Strowman, Wesley Blake, and I'm not sure who the third guy was. They didn't really name him. But Titan, Braun, now known as Titan, Wesley Blake, and EC3, control your narrative.
I love what he's doing.
They are about to go somewhere and do some damage. There's no hint where. And earlier we talked about Killer Cross. He's the one that's pictured with EC3 and Titan in a picture. So he looks like he's joining Control the Narrative.
That picture is boss, dude.
All three of them
are ripped,
chiseled, cut. Yeah, that looks great. Wherever they end up, they're going to be a hit, in my opinion.
EC3, like me and him go way back. I never met someone that is like such in shape in my life.
Yeah, he's cut.
Not only in shape, but he's so far underrated for his character work.
I agree.
That motherfucker can get over in any gimmick, any town, anything. Whenever he was Dixie Carter's nephew, and he would do the callback with the crowd where they would chant "You suck," and he'd be like, "No, I don't."
Ethan Carter,
and fight with that. I mean, he's phenomenal.
EC is essential character. He says now is what he calls
EC3
himself.
was known, and whenever he went up to NXT and WWE, the thing that killed me the most about that was this.
Shouldn't have been.
It was the simple fact is that you had EC3 and they would show the promos where it was like I forget who Lacey oh god help me Lacey Evans being called up, and they were starting to do that where they promote the people to come up. And when they did the EC3 commercial, I was in Pittsburgh when they did this, that crowd went ape shit, especially when he looked at the camera and just went and did this little smile. Boom, they had a star and they
wasted it
bad. Real bad.
100%.
Shit. Let's have it.
What I'm interested in is, okay, so I don't know. I'm going to call back to a show a few weeks ago. I talked about AEW needing some type of force to bring, that kind of danger to the company, that kind of uneasiness to the company. And I talked about it maybe being led by Uncle Eric, maybe that being Bray, maybe that being Braun. I would love to see this.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, this pretty much takes
see...
Braun out of joining Bray wherever Bray ends up.
And
He's got his own
that's what I'm
thing
saying.
going.
I would love to see this control your narrative.
Yeah.
Where they are against the big wrestling companies, period.
Yeah,
regardless of who it is.
The door's kind of still open. Impact and New Japan, they could go anywhere.
Where it's especially once you get cross, if you have those 4 guys that come in and say, you're not gonna push my career, you're not gonna tell me what we're gonna do, we're gonna take it.
Yeah,
it makes you want to see what's going to happen next. It gets you, it hooks you, and makes you say, "I got to pay attention to this to see where it goes next." That's right.
Now I've heard some splatterings that they're going to start their own promotion and stuff. I think that's the last thing I want to see.
I cannot confirm nor deny anything.
I want to see them go to another company and as a stable, as this gimmick, even if it's on a short-term run,
right,
and be able to build that. Because I think the storyline possibilities there are fantastic. And
I do too. I agree.
EC3's a great worker. Blake's a great worker. Cross is a great worker.
Yeah.
Braun is not a great worker, but he's a great character.
We got a story without a promotion. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. Next, 2 matches left here in this card, and we had OGK, Taven, and Bennett, the champions against the Briscoes.
I saw this.
Pretty much had, if you know the history of ROH, the Briscoes were probably walking away with this one. But the surprise came afterwards in the effect of FTR showing up, attacking the Briscoes. It was awesome. The pop was loud as hell.
Yep.
The brawl looked pretty damn good.
It was awesome.
I think, my opinion is Battle of the Belts. This is perfect match for Battle of the Belts in AEW. They both got titles.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
You could print money with this feud. I mean, I will gladly. I don't know if anybody saw the promo that the Briscoes cut, telling Uncle Tony to park his jet in the cornfield and pick him up.
I didn't see that.
In normal Briscoe fashion, it was completely crazy and completely awesome.
Yeah, I popped big for this. It was good.
I can't wait to see this feud. Literally can't wait. It's 2 of my favorite tag teams of all time. The promos are going to be fantastic. The matches are going to be great. I honestly thought when the lights went out last night on Dynamite that it was going to be the Briscoes.
Me too.
Yeah.
And
Doc,
I was popping hard. I was like, come on, guys.
Me too. I was like, it has to be.
I thought that too.
Doc, your thoughts on this little endeavor?
This is where I kind of cue in where I don't think ROH is dead yet. I think that we're going to see another ECW WWE thing where someone's secretly funding them. And I think that Tony Khan is going to do what Vince McMahon did with ECW. I think he is going to secretly fund. Hold up.
Okay.
Let some of these ROH guys come in and wrestle at a per diem basis and just get the ROH name a little bit more of a fanfare, a little bit more of a noticeability. I do see ROH making a return after this. That's why you take the Briscoes, bring them over with those belts and come on, you want these bitches? Yep. Let's go. And you're going to see, like Ray said, phenomenal promos with FTR and the Briscoes. You're going to see phenomenal work. What if that faction comes over? What if they say, yeah, we're here to take over for ROH? We're going to run this bitch. What if this goes down? This would be good. Just like ECW did with WWE. My God, that was a great time to be a wrestling fan. Just to see that shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't
just to see them beat Cena up. And oh, man.
And I definitely think it behooves ROH. Gresham has made which we're going to talk about him in a minute, I'm sure. But Gresham has already made the call out saying that he would love to defend the ROH World Title against Daniel Bryan.
Spoiler alert.
Which is a match I'd love to see too.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, with the fact that ROH released all these guys from their contracts, and technically they can go wherever they want to.
Right.
Making an agreement to let the belts be defended on TV really behooves, like you said, ROH, because it keeps their name relevant.
Right.
Even if the Briscoes officially sign with AEW, even if somebody else signs with, because they're still they're just basically letting that figurehead, that title be shown, that if they do come back as a super indie, which is what they're basically saying they're going to come back like PWG, where nobody's under an official contract with them. It's going to be per shot basis.
Yeah.
They're going to bring the best of the indies and stuff. But I mean, if they have an agreement with AEW to use some AEW talent too, then that's a viable business model if you as Doc
Right.
said, whether they're officially funded or just have a working relationship with one of the big two.
So
I think it's smart. It's
there's
smart. But
once
see what
again,
happens.
cliffhangers. What's going to happen? Keeps you involved. Keeps
It's interesting.
ROH alive. And the history with ROH, and this is what I really liked about the show. Throughout the show, you got little vignettes, little promos, if you will, from people from the past. Impact's Eddie Edwards and Jimmy Jacobs had something to say.
Punk.
Hangman Page, Punk,
Danielson.
Adam Cole,
Danielson.
the Bucks, Danielson, and Cody Rhodes all had little promos giving their respects to it, and that's what I really liked about it. At the end, they thanked Impact, they thanked the NWA, they thanked New Japan Wrestling, they thanked AEW. What company was left out that you didn't see anything from because they're not going to be involved in it? But I just thought the solidarity was beautiful. It was like,
well, you also have to look. The EVPs of AEW all came from ROH, and not just from ROH as a worker standpoint. When they put on All Out or All In, I mean, it was basically ROH putting on that show. It was ROH's facilities, producers, directors, cameras, the whole 9 yards that did All In with Cody and the Bucks. Yeah. Technically, ROH owns that video. They own the rights to the first All In, which I'm sure AEW would love to have, as technically that's when the company was born, if you want to call it that.
Yep.
So there's deals to be made and moves to be made that I think can really impact, no pun intended, can really impact the future of ROH for the better.
All right, we got one more show to cover after this, but we got to talk about the main event. CJ, what'd you think about Gresham and Lethal? Now, first, before you go, Bandito, for those who don't know, Bandito was supposed to defend his title. He couldn't fight. And at first, everyone was a little upset all over the internet. Oh, it's not even going to be a title fight, blah, blah, blah. And it was great to hear that they made this for the original ROH title. And Gresham getting the win, taking the title at the end. Big celebration. CJ, what'd you think about it?
I thought it was phenomenal. It was a well-told story, and I've always said, and I've worked with Gresham, I think he is one of the best wrestlers right now. All-around pure wrestlers.
We talked about it before the show, too, that he was seen in the backstage at AEW
last
week,
I did not know
as well.
that.
So that's very interesting. Doc, what'd you think about the main event of Final Battle?
Probably the best match of the night. I mean, it's close with the Shane Taylor, Kenny King,
Easily.
but I'm giving it to this one. And the thing was, if you think about it, guys, Jay Lethal been involved with ROH for a long, long time. It's kind of a passing of the torch in a way. It was kind of like when Flair lost to Booker. Was it Flair and Booker T? Or no, who did Booker T beat for the belt when WCW closed down? If you remember, was it Flair? No.
Yeah, it
wasn't Flair. He beat Steiner.
Flair and
beat
Sting
Steiner,
fought that last.
They fought the last match. But the thing was, if you think about it, it was like a passing of the torch. It was actually a very, very beautiful moment as a wrestling fan just to see, Lethal, who's already he's getting established in AEW already, and doing what he has to do. But just the fact that he came back to his stomping grounds. And just, that belt, Jonathan Gresham, more deserving than anybody in that company. Well, next to Shane. Sorry, I have to say. But I think Gresham, that was just a great passing of the torch. I really loved the way that story was told. That is what you call storytelling, right at its finest.
Now, they said that, and I don't know the history as well as you guys, or the history of Jonathan Gresham, obviously, as you guys do, but they said that some people were saying, these two have fought a million times, but it didn't take away from the main event at all. It was a great match. Ray, what'd you think about that?
Gresham was kind of brought in as Lethal's protege, and they had their story arc and everything, but I think that's why it was such a good decision to go this route for the title as opposed to just two random guys, or bringing somebody else random in other than Lethal just for the namesake. You brought in a story, you brought in a chemistry, you brought in a history to memorialize the fact that the company could be done or that this is the final, thing. The match itself, I will say Taylor and King, I thought had a better match of the night. This was a great match, but I feel like they needed 10 more minutes. To me, they were just really starting to get going because these are both guys that like to work that style of an old school wrestling match where, the peaks and valleys, as we saw last night on AEW, these two guys could have went 60 and it would have been entertaining as hell. But I feel like they needed at least another 10 minutes or so to really get where they were. Not that it was a bad match. I'm not taking anything away from it whatsoever. I would have loved to have seen them have 10 more minutes, but the way they rushed off air, you could tell some shit must have ran long on the pay-per-view when they were trying to meet the mark. So
All in
It
all,
is what it
Final
is.
Battle was great. Standing ovation. I appreciate it. I loved it. So we'll talk about what went down last night. Winter is coming. Last night in Texas, I kind of got the feeling when there was only 4 matches like everyone else that this first match was going to go for a good while. And of course I had to have the old thing when it says Wangman. They fixed it. They fixed it and made the W better.
Whenever they announced that this match was going to be first, you knew that it was going to go, if not the distance, a long way. Like you said, they only had 4 other matches announced. You knew Wardlow wasn't going to come out and work a 20-minute match.
No.
You know,
Really.
so, I mean, you knew that this was going to take time. Otherwise, why not put it on last the way it should be? But if you put it on last, then everybody knows what's going to 60 minutes and you tell it. You know what I mean? So they had to put it on first. The match itself, though, I will tell you, there's been a lot of 60-minute Iron Man matches where you know they're going to be 60 minutes. We've seen a lot of guys.
Let me, because I looked up all the 60-minute matches.
Oh, nice.
There's been 47 60-minute matches in the history of wrestling. CM Punk is in 5 of them.
And I bet you Chris Hero's in 4 of those 5 with him.
I can't remember who it was actually, but
one I know for a fact one is Joe and a couple
2 of them are Joe. One's Christopher Daniels. We got Bryan Danielson and Colt Cabana. You got Bob Backlund and Antonio Inoki way back in the day. Greg Valentine and Bob Backlund. Don Morocco and Bob Backlund. Ric Flair and Jumbo Sharuda. The Flair Sting match was a 45-minute one, and they had judges afterwards of that one. Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles went 60. Doug Williams and Steve Corino went 60. Harley Race and David Von Erich. CM Punk and Delirious. CM Punk and Chris Hero. Just to name a few. Jay Lethal, Matt Taven. So, yeah.
One thing that I think is the telltale for these type of matches, like we didn't know that it was going 60 last night unless you read into it and assumed it was going 60. But I definitely felt like the way that match was put together, it didn't feel like a 60-minute match to me.
No,
like
not
watching it, it was entertaining. They told a great story. The way they arced back and forth, you could tell Brian called the match as he should. I'm not taking anything whatsoever away from Hangman. They worked a fantastic match, but it's just the way that the match was structured was a slow burn with valleys and peaks that went up. But it was one of those things that, like, whenever they called the 5-minute remaining, I was like, holy shit, it's been 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were like the half-hour mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hats off to them. And also hats off to AEW to put that on television.
They mesmerized you on that one. That could have been a pure pay-per-view match, like he was about to say. Sorry.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to say the last time a match that long was on TV, wasn't it WWE put Cena and Michaels on?
Yep.
For like almost an hour because of sickness or travel issues or some shit like that.
Isn't that when everybody got what was it? Oh my God, Roman had it, Bray had it, meningitis or something.
Yeah, some kind of outbreak or something. But they just don't put these kind of matches on TV, and I think it's a mistake. Like,
yeah,
I get it. You only have one TV show or so many hours to put in there, but what was told last night was just a fantastic story with 2 great workers. And if you don't want to see more of that now, you're inhuman.
Doc, what'd you think about this match in a nutshell, my friend?
Great storytelling, and it's leading up to another great story, which has to be with Bryan Danielson always making it to the big way, or always making it to the big show. Nobody's beaten him in a championship match yet, and that's a great thing for a promo. You know, I deserve this because nobody's beaten me in a championship match yet, and that's why I should be in the. And he could use that as his. He could use that as an argument every time and win a debate with that. That neither Hangman nor the Kenny Omega was able to pin him.
It was the right move because, like, I kind of thought they were hot-shotting it. Like, I thought there was so much more story to be told with Hangman and Danielson. I mean, I loved him running through the Dark Order and everything like that. But it just felt like there wasn't enough animosity between Hangman and Danielson himself to blow this off yet. So I love that they took it 60 minutes, and now you have the Hangman, who we've seen like the doubt arise in him over time, doubting whether maybe he can beat Bryan, and Bryan having, like you said, I took Kenny to the limit. I've taken you to the limit. You guys can't beat me.
CJ, what did you think about this fight? Did you get to watch it?
I did. It was freaking phenomenal. I'm glad it went as long as it did. It told a great story. And I look forward to the next one because there's got to be a next one. I know you had said earlier when we were talking.
I'll give my take on it here in a minute. Some people won't like it, but go ahead and finish your thought.
Well, yeah, that's
Fucking
all I
spoil
had.
sport
It was,
McGee there.
Well, Easy's not here. Easy's not here. So
it was a damn good wrestling match.
I'm not disagreeing with anything that you three people say, but I got two things that I'm going to nitpick on. And the first one is the referee. I don't know what was going on, but to us, we realize why. But the first time Hangman goes off, he's obviously blading or cutting himself, or he got hit. The spot with the two arms banging him into the post was great. The match was phenomenal. I put it up there with the matches of the year with Omega and Danielson, Britt and Thunder Rosa, and definitely Walter and Dragunov is still my match of the year. However, the referee does not count. It should technically, if you want to be real technical, it's a count out. Hangman's done, 10, done, match over. I loved the fact that it went long. Yes, it was great. It didn't feel like an hour match. But then the next time they go outside the ring with that horrible table spot, corner the table that he hit, ouch. Then he gets a little bit of a count. Then the next time they go out, Brian's hurt and the ref doesn't count. He goes out to check on him again. I get it, the well-being of the wrestler's story, blah. The announcers didn't tell that well, and it looked like, what the fuck is this referee doing? He's a great ref, but it was all over the place. When do you count? When do you not count? Sometimes he decided to count. Sometimes he didn't count.
I actually 100% agree with you on that. I completely get your point. That's where JR was missed on the commentary. That is something that Jim Ross would have explained, would have went into detail about him going outside the ring to check the well-being. You know, that is a Jim Ross type deal. And I'm not knocking Excalibur, Tony. I love them. But I love Taz on commentary too. But that is something that I feel like that would have been a Jim Ross explanation to have. And I think in any world title match, the referee should be empowered to
use his discretion.
Yeah, they didn't sell it well enough. And people can argue with this as well. If Omega Danielson wasn't a 30-minute draw, I hate the fact that this was a fucking draw. I want a winner.
Well,
I know it was a great match. It's a great story. You don't 30-minute matches. I'm not disagreeing with any of that shit. But we didn't get a winner. A lot of disappointment. There was a little more disappointment later. So I just wanted to play the other side of the coin, a little bit of devil's advocate.
But Blaze, as a commentator, as someone who works commentary, you have to point that stuff out though. So they should have been on it a little bit better. And what I'm going to say is, like, I've done it before where, oh, wow, well, you probably wonder why the referee isn't counting. He wants to check on the well-being. You're probably wondering why the referee isn't counting. What's going to happen? Why would you want to waste a match like this for the crowd? Like, make that referee a hero.
Same thing like Riley says with tag matches. Do they have to tag? Do they not have to tag? Who's a legal man? This is something. It's confusing to some people.
Bully Ray always mentions it all the time on Busted Open, how that they're referees, and I don't. And again, it's not any fault of their own. It's just the commentators, like you said, need to get these points across.
But Hangman isn't Wangman isn't on TV for the last 10 years every week. Geez. So this really got him up there. It proved that he could hang for an hour. He could wang for an hour, whatever. The man proved he deserves to be the champ. Wangman is coming. Wangman is coming. And he came all over this match for 60 minutes. It was great.
Yeah, damn.
Don't get me wrong.
He said Wangman.
Good, Blaze. You want a hug? Do you need someone to talk to?
Look at the picture.
What I do.
Hangman, for fuck's sake. So we went from a 60-minute match to about a 1-minute match, a totally destruction, Wardlow. And then the tease again at the end with Sean Spears coming in with the, hit him again. No, I don't want to do it again. The fans cheer it. He hits him with a chair. Obviously, we're getting a split between these two. It's just a matter of when. But Wardlow dominant. He looked great.
Which Wardlow needs his own entity. He looked
great, and I can't wait till we get face Wardlow just dominating people and beating the shit out of
the problem right now,
or they could still keep him a face and do the same thing. It wouldn't matter.
The problem right now, though, is that the crowd is calling for the split. Him dumping him over the weekend, in the Battle Royal last week. The crowd is calling for the split, but you can't split Wardlow right now because MJF is in a feud with CM Punk in one of your big money feuds. So you can't take away from that by having Wardlow flip. Now, the answer to that seems to be, well, he's going to flip on Spears and annihilate Spears, and then MJF can circle back to that. But I don't think that that's the right move. I think that Wardlow kind of needs to in a promo or a backstage segment needs to kind of poke at
Lose his
MJF
shit.
about it,
Yeah.
and then kind of just fall back in line and wait. And we almost need that evolution break type moment where it's not expected. Everybody seems happy, and he just fucking levels MJF out of nowhere.
I dig it. They're keeping
you.
You. It's like back. I refer back to Nitro in the old WCW days, where the end of the show left you with a cliffhanger, and you couldn't wait to find out what happened next. Will Cody ever turn heel? Is he heel? Is he face? And will Wardlow turn? I love that type of shit. So, but on to the next match, we got Sheeta and Deeb. Great match. CJ, did you catch this one? What'd you think of it?
I did. I saw the whole show. I'm a big fan of Serena Deeb. I like Sheeta, but probably not as much as you guys.
I love her.
I love Sheeta. Drink her dirty
Holy
bathwater.
Sheeta. I like the Holy Sheeta
Yeah,
signs.
I'm a Serena Deeb guy.
I'm with you on that, bro.
Yeah.
Great
I love
match.
Steve. I love
tell
Deeb
you that-
too, though. Deeb did great work in WWE with the Straight Edge Society.
Deeb and Sheeta
True.
worked so stiff last night.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Hard to
It
believe
was
she was
phenomenal.
awesome. Back then.
I kind of feel bad because the crowd was completely shot from
After Brian
the
and
60-minute
Hangman.
Iron Man
Yeah.
and Wardlow coming out and they're chanting, and they just
Yeah.
weren't into this. Like I would have rather seen this match maybe pushed back another week or on Rampage.
Agreed.
It was the
The
rubber match,
matches-
too. They also each had a win over each other.
That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
match itself had so much story into it. They built a great feud.
Yep.
The match itself, I thought, was really, really good. They worked stiff as shit. I loved it. It's
Yep.
just I feel bad that the crowd didn't add to the atmosphere. I feel like they kind of sucked the energy out of it.
See, Doc? Oh, look at that picture. That
Yeah,
take it really out of
you just-
context.
Well, wow. Okay, I was.
How do you think I got this eye?
Sheeta versus Deeb, great storytelling, great build to it. You know, her taking away the 50th win. You know, it was awesome. Okay, wow to that picture again. One more
I know.
time.
I found that I'd looked for pictures of this story, and Malachi Black teasing his first member of the House of Black, spit into his face. The dude threw up. You could tell he's a big, broad-shouldered guy, and then reaching
Don't
over.
tell Zelina.
And then reaching over and saying, "You are so much more than a king." Is
Best
why everyone.
caption for this picture. There's mud in your eye. Is it mud?
Hey, Life's Magical Journey, big shout out to you for stopping in. Out of context picture. I had to put that. I thought we'd get a kick out of that. It's like, what did
When you didn't pay for dinner. All right, I'm done.
But there was a there was a post later on. It wasn't from AEW, but it was one of those graphics later on that Brody King is signed and is all elite. Now, I'm waiting for
Yeah, I
AEW
saw
to post
that.
it, but it was
I think,
it was
I
from
seen
a
it
different
posted
wrestling. We're
somewhere.
not, it was a different wrestling page that some of the dirt sheets and stuff had put that he is signed, and it pretty much looks inevitable. Brody King will be the first member of the House of Black. Where it goes from there, who knows? I've heard rumors that a Brian Pillman turn because of that little story where he's going to
I
fight
saw
Griff
that.
Garrison next week.
Yeah,
So they're
I'd be
thinking
cool
maybe
with that.
maybe Pillman turns heel and joins the House of Black. Like what happened to
I'd be
Julia
okay
Hart?
with that.
I don't think it's time for that yet. I think
No.
I don't think
Just one at
Pillman's
a
really
time?
ready for prime
No loose
time,
cannon
if we're
Jr.
being
yet.
Honest, like I like Brian Pillman Jr. I think he has a lot of potential.
He
I
does.
think he's just fine in the Varsity Blonde tag team doing the dark elevation and sometimes getting a little bit of work. But I think he's still a little too green with his storytelling in the ring. However, I am 100% in on the House of Black. This is what Malachi's needed. I wish they would have done this first instead of the bullshit Cody storyline. I hope that not only Brody King, I've expressed my thoughts that I think they should put somebody like Bear Country with him as muscle.
So
Dude,
Riley
Bear
had
Country is
Riley,
so
you had
fucking good.
So Malachi Black fought Amazing Red on where
House of
Riley
Glory.
Wolf is training in House
Yeah.
of Glory, and it looks like Riley had a little run-in with Malachi Black, unfortunately.
But this Malachi is somebody who, with the right storyline, can be like
Welcome,
inserted into the main event picture, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
as soon as this storyline with Punk with Brian
Cody.
is done, they've obviously said MJF or Punk or blah blah blah. But I would like to see Hangman in a storyline against Malachi Black. I
I'd be
mean,
cool
I
with that,
really
too.
would. He's a main eventer, and if you're
Oh,
not
for
putting
sure.
him up
His
there,
work
you're-
is
you're
way
fucked
main
up.
event.
That's funny you mentioned that, because on my other little shows, I do little fantasy booking, and I do the created characters, but I also do what's called FAW, it's Fantasy Action Wrestling. We do dream matches, and next Thursday night, it's the 23rd. I don't know if we're gonna have a WrestleSense or not, whether or not in or out. This is my fantasy AEW booking. I'm gonna have the Hardy Boys versus FTR. Bryan Danielson versus Sting. I'm going to have Hook take on Sammy Guevara for the TNT title.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Ruby Soho, Jade Cargill, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rose, all fighting Britt Baker for the women's title. I'm going to do Undisputed Era, Cole Fish and Riley versus the Cult of Wyndham. I'm going to take Luke Harper, Bo Dallas, and Bray because I can. It's fantasy booking. I'm going to do CM Punk. I'm going to do CM Punk versus MJF. Make it happen before it does. I take a 10-man rumble with a bunch of people that are now in AEW that are in the game, so I don't have to download them. Andrade, Big Show, Christian, Jericho, Moxley, Gargano, Leo Rush, Rusev, Tony Nese, Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears.
Shit, I'm reading Riley's thing in the chat.
And then the last match is going to be what you just mentioned. I'm going to have the AEW title Hangman Page versus Malachi Black.
He faced Buddy Matthews. Yeah, dude, that's badass.
Oh, so Red didn't fight. It was Matthews. Cool.
Yeah, it was Malachi Black and fucking Buddy Murphy. Nice.
I said that House of Glory is doing good stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch some of their stuff. And Riley, like I said before, send me your shit.
I can get this picture off.
There's a belt in his hand. So.
I was going to make a bunch of sound effects, but all right. So the final match was for the diamond, and MJF took the win. Kept the diamond.
Yeah.
Dante, I mean, to me, he's great. Don't get me wrong, but he always looks like he's ready to cry.
It looks like he has the shit.
He was sloppy and dangerous as fuck last night. Let's not be honest. I mean, let's not point any punches about it.
And the last thing
that shooting star press to the outside, he straight up
he fucking landed down on his face. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He took it.
There was a second move in the ring. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It was like was it a moonsault splash or something in the ring where he also cracked MJF in the face, like
made him like right here.
He caught him a couple times.
I think the Dante Martin is extremely talented. I think the kid has so much fucking potential, but he is one of the people who are suffering in AEW from not working 3 or 4 days a week. The kid needs reps. The kid needs time. He needs development, because right now what I saw last night is MJF luckily didn't end up with a broken nose.
Right.
You didn't end up with a Becky Lynch situation, taking your top freaking heel out for 6 weeks or 8 weeks due to a missed spot. Now, as far as the match itself, I mean, they did a great job.
Yeah,
MJF is the fucking man.
Yeah. He is.
There's going to be a huge bidding war over him.
Yeah, it's all over social media saying that WWE's interested in him when his contract's up. That's not news.
He should be.
Yeah, but he's not going to have what he's going to be so watered down.
Look at the promo he cut. Do you think he's going to be able to say any of that shit in WWE?
Speaking of promos, gentlemen, would you like to hear
all your wives swallow and stuff?
Okay, speaking of that right there.
Swallow?
Yeah. I suck, your sister swallows.
Yeah.
I had a 7-year-old look me right in the face and go, Daddy, what's she swallowing?
Her gum.
And at that point, at that point, wow, shit. At that point, I literally said, well, he's just making fun because I guess people's sisters or some of them are overweight and, swallowing all the food. I had to come up with something like that.
Well, I mean, it's common.
Holy shit.
But the announcement that we teased, and you see in the bottom right corner, and I saw it, Tony Khan was supposed to announce something regarding the Owen Hart Cup, which I
think he's going to wait.
I thought the announcement was...
Well, I'll get to that. This was supposed to be the announcement, is the Owen Hart thing. That's what it was leading up to.
It wasn't.
And I'm sitting there going, I can't wait. Is it a tag tournament? Is it the trios titles? Is it just but they said it was going to be a match. And I thought, well, that can't be the Owen Hart Cup then. Why would they have one match? The lights go out. Of course, everyone's thinking, is it Bray? Is it the Briscoes? Who could it be? And it's Sting and Darby.
Yeah.
And that set up, they said right at the end, because they had to get off, Tony Khan booked this match for next week, blah, blah, blah. And it's Sting, Darby, Punk versus
I think they ran out of time. They ran out of time.
Yeah, they definitely ran out of time. They'll probably address that on Rampage.
Yeah.
Ray, you could think about this for a minute. The Owen Hart Cup, that's a huge news thing. TBS being the new station. new network for. They might want to save it for that, just because, boom,
I'm sure they're going to make the announcement soon, but I agree with you. That's probably where it'll happen at.
When's the last show you've ever known, an hour show that's going to have an 8-man tag match and a 10-man tag match? That's what you're getting a Rampage tomorrow night.
Fucking Rampage. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm
fucking
okay
Rampage.
with it.
It's fine.
I wish it was live.
All I gotta say is, guys, Max Caster gets the rap, and myself, and believe my 7-year-old who doesn't understand anything he's saying, we both like Max Caster.
True.
I love him.
I was asked to dress up like Max Caster for when we went to Dynamite, because he was gonna be Darby, and he's like, "Daddy, you should be either Sting or Max Caster," and I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good."
So, and then that was Final Battle. Winter is coming. We talked about the controversial story with the referee and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
We talked about the debuts of Hook and Harlan and stables. We went over all those stables. That was fun. I don't know if anybody has any. We're closing in on 2 hours, but this is one of my favorite shows that we've done so far.
I like this.
Yeah, I had a blast.
Covered a lot of shit. You know,
this is our 8th show, and at the end of the last show, I was like, "Man, there ain't going to be much to talk about," and I forgot about Winter is coming.
Plenty. Yeah.
All I gotta say is, in the war of a final battle, Winter is coming. Eazy-E's girlfriend is not.
Wangman is coming.
Wow.
Oh, a shot at Eve.
Oh,
Stay
man.
tuned next show when Eazy-E gets to have his rebuttal.
All I have to say is that referee should press charges.
Agreed.
Yes.
That poor person who Malachi Black raped should press charges.
Yeah. Julia Hart should press charges.
Yeah. And her scream. Holy
she did take
scream.
a facial blast.
She did.
I thought she did excellent with that.
Yeah.
Well,
Lee Johnson.
Before we say our goodbyes
I'm gonna
and
get fucking Me Too.
head out to the next show, I got to pay a little respect to our members out there. So we'll be right back with our final words.
This is a recording.
Please hang up and try your call again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
And definitely stick around. I will be live here in just a minute or two. Stable Wars was continuing here tonight. So leaning towards Death Wrestling action, we'll be live here in a minute. Any final words from the big goofball, Ray?
Just me popping Doc on. It's been fun.
Sorry.
Pop me too.
Just the sideway, yeah.
I'm excited about what's to come as always.
Yeah.
Boys. I mean, there's so much out there. There's so many possibilities.
Are you guys good for next Thursday?
I'm fine.
I'm down.
Yeah, it's the 23rd. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm down.
We'll be back next week with follow-ups and all this, and Eazy-E gets his shot back at Doc. And
oh, jeez, come on!
Yeah,
How many
maybe-
shots has he had at me,
maybe
guys?
someone else will be blowing
He's
Malachi
gonna
Black
shoot
by
your
then.
face.
You never know.
I'm gonna call it Cody. No, I'm joking.
Doc, any final
Malachi,
words?
don't!
Wow, Ray, I literally saw the back of your teeth. Holy shit!
It's still the back of your tray.
Doc, anything with 2PW, RWA, or any rides?
Yeah,
or anything?
2PW has a show this Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's a Toys for Tots event. We will have Doink there fighting H. Alexander, which I'm excited to see. We have one hell of a triple threat match.
It'll be in a urn.
Not that Doink. Not that Doink.
Yeah, not
But
that
it's for a good cause. So
real.
if you are near the Butler, Pennsylvania area, anybody that's listening to the show right now, come check it out, man. It's going to be a
Definitely
Toys for
check
Tots
it
event.
out.
2PW Prospect Pro Wrestling. It's on Facebook along with my site, Wrestling with Doc. If you see my name at Wrestling with Doc, Twitter, follow me.
And
All
if you
of
want
that.
to watch any of this
Happy
action,
holidays.
in the description of this show, www.indywrestling.us, you could see a lot of the action from a lot of these guys.
You get to hear
CJ,
it. To hear me, see
Yeah.
him.
And you can hear Doc, and you can hear Doc calling the action as always.
Wrong way, asshole.
I know.
CJ, surgery for CJ, still in recovery. What's your final words, my friend, coming back?
I'm feeling
Totally
good. Not
penetrating
even a
right
week
now.
out for surgery, so I cannot complain. I just want to be able to take a shower.
One in the
So
ear.
if any of you hot single females want to come get me?
Yeah, sponge bath.
Sponge bath, baby.
He's just getting fingered before we leave. All right, everybody.
Whatever works.
It's been a blast, and we'll see ya in the streams. And next week, we're back with more WrestleSense. Stay tuned.